everybody. Welcome to episode 31 of the Intermission podcast. The show with two film classes. This girl's classy. I can't answer you this. Sometimes going by. I decided to roll with the botch there. We're your hosts, Oscar W. Fitchett.
I'm also here. I'm Robbie Tweedale. I'm putting my foot.
It's your house. Your flat.
That's a good point.
It's your humble abode.
We'll preface that now. If you think, oh, that's a different set and looks very barren, that's because we're here live from Leeds, where I now live.
Can we hear it, everyone? Will you two shut up? Just a random.
Yeah. Jesus.
So yes,
Yeah.
it's that time of the year.
Yeah,
Where we don't talk about classic, iconic, and obscure films. We might talk about some obscure ones.
They might come up.
There might be some iconic ones. I would argue there are some. But not classic.
No.
This is the time of the year where we go through the past year and we talk about our 10 favorite films from said year.
Yeah.
Few things to preface. This is UK releases. We are basing off that thing. Because if you're wondering last year, what films didn't... last year, things like Licorice Pizza, we didn't put in. Nightmare Alley didn't count.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was someone else I can't remember.
Belfast.
Belfast didn't count last year because they got like January, February, March releases in the UK. So they might pop up on this year's list. Same thing. There's such films that won't be counted towards this year, like The Fabelmans, Babylon, Tar... Pearl, we're getting in March.
Yeah. Puss in Boots, The Last Wish.
2. Yeah, that's The Whale.
Yeah.
There's a few. There's actually quite a lot that like we aren't counting until. So those films that we just mentioned there might be in next year's
They might
list.
be.
So. Who knows? Is there another one? That was it. I'm just trying to think of the films I have seen this year so far. But yeah, that's why those films won't be in this year's list, and that's why if there are films, you're like, wait a minute, that was 2021. It's like we got them in 2022.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only like thing that I need a preface in that regard. Obviously, the obvious thing being like it's our opinions. These aren't the best
don't
films.
fucking worry about it. Don't if you listen to this podcast and have done for a little while, or like know me and are just listening to this one thing, you should know by now. Don't listen to a fucking word I say. I don't know anything about anything. You don't need to worry about it.
One thing I'm learning about this specific podcast is that the audience that we are building aren't here for the opinions on the films.
No.
They're here for our two dynamic...
Yeah, the dynamic
electric
duo.
chemistry.
Our electric chemistry that we have with each other. My God, how do we do it?
I don't know. No clue. But a few things... A few things, Robbie. Another few fun little things I want to do.
Yeah, go on.
Last year, in the video...
Which was 2022.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
The films of 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We recorded it.
We recorded it in 2022.
Okay, good.
We there was a few little bits and bobs in terms of... no, you know what? I'll go through that last, actually.
Oh, okay.
But the first thing I want to say, I like doing these lists because it's always fun to look back at them of what I thought was the best thing.
Yeah.
And if
Have
they
I
still
watched
stood.
it since?
Yes, that's another
Do
good
I
thing.
even like it anymore?
Yep.
What's the point of anything?
I want to read each of our top 10s from last year. Mine, this is what my 10 through 1 went.
Okay.
My 10 was Petite Maman,
No idea.
which was the film by Celine Sciamma about the two little girls, little French film.
Okay.
I haven't seen it since, but it's one of these ones like, oh yeah, I did like that.
Okay.
Same director's Portrait of Lady on Fire. I still remember that one more than this one.
Okay.
My number 9 was Come On, Come On, which I haven't revisited since last year as well, which I liked. I remember liking, but again, haven't felt the need to once again go back to.
Fucking hell.
Number 8 was Titan. Now, this I have went back to,
Jesus.
and this is a film I have thought about a lot more. And I would say it would probably be higher.
Thought about it because a woman fucks a car.
Hey, you know, we all have our things, Robbie.
Oh, gee, God.
And I'm not going to correct myself because that'll be funny just leaving it like that.
Does Oscar have a thing for fucking cars?
I'll see what people think
That's
about it.
what I want the audience to go
We'll see what my top 10 this year brings.
Yeah.
Got everyone thinking, what film?
Yeah.
So, number 7 was a film called Shiver Baby, which is a I can't even remember how I even explained it to you. The way I heard someone explain it to it was like, imagine like Lady Bird meets Uncut Gems. I was like, that's actually a pretty accurate like comparison. I remember liking it, but again, it's not a film I've revisited.
No.
Number 6 was Spencer.
Yeah.
A film I haven't revisited, but a film I do still continue to remember liking a lot, actually.
Okay.
So that belongs there. My number 5 was Drive My Car. A film I do remember liking quite a bit. I haven't revisited because again, that's a long film. It's a nearly 3-hour slow-paced Japanese drama. I'm like, I'll get to it at some point again.
Yeah.
My number 4 was Tick Tick Boom. This would still be quite high on my list, actually.
Yeah, great movie.
3 is The French Dispatch, a film I haven't revisited, and a film I'm not sure if I would say would be this high anymore.
No, it shouldn't be on the fucking list.
It would still be on the list, but I'm not sure it would be.
Scum.
I need to rewatch it again to be fair. My number 2 was Sound of Metal, a film that I still really liked. And my number 1 was Another Round. I would still say that would be that right for belongs. I would. You know what? None of these films I gave 5 stars, but looking back, I would probably Another Round would be the only 5-star film from that year. I think.
Okay. Yeah.
In honesty. Your top 10, Robbie.
God, I'm terrified.
Your number 10 was Val,
Oh, yeah.
the Val Kilmer documentary.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since. It's good. I remember it being good and very sad.
Yeah.
So that's, fair enough.
Your number 9 was No Time to Die.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Your number 8 was Shang-Chi.
No. No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
You don't have to lie, Oscar.
No, I'm not. Your number 8 was Shang-Chi.
Jesus. Well, okay, swap No Time to Die and Shang-Chi thus far.
Your number 7 was Luca.
No, what the fuck? Sorry. What the fuck is going on? Sorry, okay, next one.
Your number 6 was Don't Look Up.
Yeah, I'll stand by it. I think it's funny.
Stupid, man. Your number 5 was Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Your number 4 was Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Love it. Still love it. There's a new one coming out this year.
Is there?
In like December or something.
What?
Yeah.
All right. Your number 3 was Last Night in Soho.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Your number 2 was The Harder They Fall.
Yeah, fucking awesome.
Still haven't seen it.
I've watched that since.
Oh, have you?
It's
okay.
It's still fucking great. It's still the coolest movie that's ever been made.
Right, okay. And your number 1 was Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah,
which
stand by it.
Yes.
Stand by it. Do I now recognise that there's some issues with it? Yes. Like things don't make sense in that movie, but that's fine. I don't need it to make sense.
Fair.
You know?
And also, what's fun about this as well is last year we almost established the fact that at the end of these lists, we're going to start, like at the end of these videos, we're going to then try to determine what is the intermission film of the year.
Okay. Yeah.
The first one we ever awarded in 2020 was Soul. That was that was the film of the year.
I don't like that movie since I've seen it since, and I'm like, I don't like it.
That was your number 2 of that year, I think. Yeah, you really like that one.
Jesus.
And then last year, the film of the year that we awarded the film of the year was Tick Tick Boom. Yeah. So it'll be interesting. I think this year's going to be a lot. We're going to have a few more options.
Yeah, I think so.
I think there's going to be a little bit more of a closer race.
I think there's going to be a lot more crossover.
Yeah, no, same.
You know.
Which is why I'm going to lean on to this in the fact of like, I think this has been like, I think the last 2 years have been weak as fuck in terms of like quality of films.
I had Shang-Chi on my top 10. What am I doing?
I'm still fine with all the shit that I had in my top 10.
Jesus.
But a lot of them I'm not like, they're fine.
Yeah,
but like, for example, in terms of like releases, I've given 4 films in 2022 5 stars.
Okay.
Like I've had like it's been every other film on my top 10 list this year is 4.5. So I didn't have that last year.
Yeah.
Like I think I was like scraping 4 at one with some of them. But yeah, I think we're gonna have a lot more like crossover, and I think there's gonna be a lot more of a tighter like.
Which one was the
thing?
best?
Yes, and not to spoil things.
Okay.
But also, what's going to be interesting? Let's see.
Yeah.
Last year we went through films that were going to be coming out in 2022. We went through that list and we try and make predictions to see what we said and what we thought. Okay, we try to guess what we were going to think about each film of 2022. Not every single film.
Let me preface this a second.
Yes, go on.
I'm sorry to all the people at home. I make very rash calls on things a lot of the time. without thinking about it. Don't hold me to this, please.
So,
Jesus.
regards to the Batman, we were both it was both our most anticipated film of that year.
Yeah.
We were it was our number one
that
now.
makes sense, yeah.
Doctor Strange 2, Robbie, you were very excited.
Yeah.
Me, I was intrigued.
I sure was.
That's what that was.
Sure was, man.
After Young, this was the film I brought up. I said,
Colin Farrell.
then I went, I was very excited and quotes, I might cry.
Did he get?
What I said.
Did he get a little robot boy?
He didn't get a little robot boy.
Was he a little robot boy?
No, the robot man died, and they were dealing with. He shut down all of a sudden. And, yeah.
Did you cry?
I might talk about it later.
Oh, okay.
We were both hyped for The Northman.
I still haven't seen it.
We were both very excited for Spider-Verse 2.
Yes,
still are.
boy, were we, and we're still very excited about Spider-Verse 2.
Both looking forward to what was then just known as Knives Out 2.
Oh yeah,
We were just
boy, Wally. Yeah.
What's funny about this? I wanted like a little sidestep. Lewis was saying that they had the first one on just to have it on him and Victoria, and apparently Victoria refuses to call Knives Out, call Glass Onion by Glass Onion, and she just simply calls it Knives Out 2. She just refuses to call it Glass Onion.
Well, that's the name
to which I'm like, oh, I guess I'll keep that in mind. I'll call her Adele 2 then.
Yeah.
Adele's her mum.
Yeah,
so I'll just
like
call
that,
her Adele 2 then.
Yeah. Spider-Man. So Spider-Man No Way Home. You wouldn't call that Spider-Man 3. Because
would it be Spider-Man 9 at this point?
yeah, exactly. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
We're being technical.
Yeah.
But yes.
Bizarre.
I got we made a bet about Avatar 2 and Aquaman 2. This is when Aquaman 2 was going to be coming out.
What did we say?
I made a very silly bet in the sense that I think Aquaman 2 was going to be higher grossing than Avatar 2.
Okay.
And you thought the other way around. We can't say that.
We can't say that yet because Aquaman hasn't come out.
But the statement that I said, when I said Avatar 2 will get to 1 billion, but there's no chance of getting to 2 billion.
Is it at 2 yet?
I'm thinking it is now.
I think it is.
There's still, but I was like, no one's going to give that much of a shit about Avatar 2 to make it the highest grossing film of the year.
I think
I read that it is gone to like 2 bill.
I'm pretty sure it's like number 4 highest grossing movie of all
Yeah,
time.
I think it is.
Fucking, I don't want to see it again. Just tell me how much money it made.
What's the box
so
office?
far 2.1 billion.
Yeah, so I was wrong.
You were very wrong.
Yeah, I was wrong. Okay, and then we went through certain films and we were giving our opinions on what we think.
Yeah.
Uncharted, you said it was going to be terrible.
Yeah, I was right.
I then went, not going to be good.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, we nailed it. Fucking nice one.
Death on the Nile, we both in unison were like, bad.
Yeah, it's got that cannibal in it.
You said it was. You said it. I don't think we never. Both of us haven't seen the film, so we
No,
don't.
I've seen clips of it.
Right. Okay.
And,
I think you said it was going to be very choppy because they were going to cut Armie Hammer out. But
Yeah,
as far
which
as I'm
they
aware,
didn't.
they kept him in, and he's the killer.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that makes sense.
Spoiler. Sorry.
So yeah, sorry if you haven't seen that shit movie.
The Batman. I said I'm gonna cry. I said
Did you cry?
I got emotional at the Batman.
Okay.
You said I think it's going to be great and wouldn't be surprised if people would be disappointed by it.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure people were. I
But
think it
I
was quite
don't think
unanimously
people were.
like people
I
were
think
like
unanimously
"That's good."
people went that's
Yeah,
a good movie.
yeah.
That's fine. Yeah.
Morbius. We both said laughable.
Yeah, and it
Was it laughable?
It was. Yeah. I saw it.
Yeah, you're the only judge.
Boy, was it?
I think I also said I kind of wanted it to be fantastic levels of bizarre. Was it that?
It was more bizarre than
okay.
Fantastic, I would say. Matt Smith doing a little dance in the mirror is very, very good.
Sonic 2, you said, I think it's going to be great.
It was.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Fantastic Beasts 3, we were both like, bad.
Yeah, I
so,
think it was, right? Unanimously,
I
people
forgot
said
it
was bad.
came out.
Yeah.
If I'm being perfectly honest, I forget.
Was that the first one
With
that
Mads
had
Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was the only one currently.
Oh, yeah.
That's what these films,
They're
man.
stopping now, right?
Hopefully.
I was going to say, surely they're...
Hopefully Hogwarts Legacy that's coming out makes people go,
Huh.
let's do something else with Potter.
Well, there's been talk of a fucking Potter reboot. Which,
yeah, no, I've heard
Which,
that.
hey, don't do that.
No.
Or to do not an 8th movie, a 9th movie, and bring them all back and do like a Cursed Child situation. Which I'd watch that.
Yeah.
If they all actually came back.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to recast fucking Emma Watson or something.
I also just don't want David Yates to only be the one director.
Yeah, do it. Let someone else do it.
Well, I've said give Guillermo.
Yeah,
Hogwarts.
yeah.
Just
Give
Guillermo
do
del
it.
Toro.
Yeah, that'd be
He's
cool.
like that's
Bring
like
Alfonso Cuarón back.
Cuarón.
Same one.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, no,
Bring him
you
back
know what,
because
Alfonso?
he did the best one.
He did.
Oh, he did.
You're not getting like
And
him then.
fuck you, Julia, for thinking it's the Half-Blood Prince. You're a lunatic.
Not going to get into
Cut that
that.
out, please.
No.
Oh, shit. The Half-Blood Prince sucks.
The Northman, I said, class. It's not going to be a big badass action film, and people will be disappointed by that.
Yeah.
I don't think enough people saw it to have that opinion.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it still.
Yeah,
so
I think it did do great at the box office,
Yeah,
but at least Robert Eggers is still doing Nosferatu.
still making movies.
He's going to be doing Nosferatu, his dream
Yeah.
film, and Willem's going to be in it.
Nice.
Bill Skarsgård, I think, is also in it.
Who's Nosferatu?
It hasn't been announced.
I guess it's probably Bill Skarsgård, right? 'Cause he was-
No, I don't think he's been announced not to be him.
Oh.
There was someone else who's in it. That Nicholas Holt's also in the film as well.
Oh, don't give it to Nicholas Hoult. Oh,
I don't know.
make it Defoe. You got Defoe in his weird
No,
goblin face.
no, because he'll just be the random old bloke that's in the film.
I hope he's Nosferatu. I want to see him bald with his big.
Wasn't he
pointy
already
ears.
technically Nosferatu in that film Shadow of the Vampire, whatever it was?
I don't know. What the fuck are you talking
There's a
about?
film Shadow of the Vampire that was about like the making of Nosferatu, but the whole thing on it is like they just got real vampire, and I think Willem Dafoe was the vampire.
That sounds awesome.
So
Yeah, fair enough. I'll take back everything I
I
said.
think John Malkovich was the director or something. It was
Amazing.
something like that.
Amazing.
Why wasn't Malkovich?
Yeah. Bizarre.
Doctor Strange 2, you said could go either way.
Yeah.
You also said I'm either going to love it or be really disappointed.
I was the second one.
You also said this is meant with No Way Home was meant to be a celebration of Spider-Man. That apparently Doctor Strange 2 is meant to be a big celebration of Marvel as a brand.
It was not. It was not. Hey, this is I have a PSA to do.
Right.
PSA to all people in the leaking and scooping community. Stop making things up to get people excited about movies because
Babylon as well.
it just makes people really fucking disappointed when you go see a movie and you're expecting to see fucking Tom Cruise show up as Iron Man for whatever reason, and maybe Hugh Jackman Wolverine's going to be in it, and maybe Deadpool and blah 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 blah, and I just end up getting
John Krasinski.
Is Mr. Fantastic and he doesn't do any stretching. The guy from Inhumans that nobody wanted back.
Oh yeah.
Captain Marvel, but it's her mate, and the same. Peggy Carter and she's Captain America.
And then Patrick Stewart in the
And Patrick Stewart for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Sick
Sure,
of it.
whatever. I don't give a shit.
Fucking
I don't
sucks.
care. Top Gun 2. This is the best one that we said.
Okay.
The quote you said was
Oh, no.
terrible. It's gonna be terrible. And then I went, I think it's gonna be fine. And then you then replied going, it's gonna be real bad. And then
Oh god. Well, there's fucking egg on my face.
cut to it being
Yeah, cut to it being unanimously everyone's favorite movie of all time for some reason. What did I do?
You also haven't seen it, so you might hate it. But also, I can't imagine.
I could hate it, but I probably won't. Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Larry David.
Yeah, we need to put a clip of the theme going on afterwards.
Jurassic World 3, you just went terrible.
Yeah.
And we moved on.
Yeah, it was. We went to
yeah,
see it.
was
I forced you to go see it that
When
night.
we could have seen Top Gun 2.
We could have seen Top Gun 2, and I forced you to see it because I said I want to rip the plaster off and just go see it now.
Lightyear,
Yeah.
we were both unanimously like, it's going to be good. And then I
No.
said, it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't think it's going to be an emotional Pixar film. And then you went, I think it is.
And then all his friends died in the first 20 minutes. Have you seen that movie?
No, I didn't give a shit.
Okay,
that's another thing. I just didn't bother seeing it.
Can I explain this to you?
You already
before we
have.
move on?
You already-
I've
yeah,
explained
you
it,
told me
yeah.
about them. Yeah,
Yeah, they do an Interstellar and all his friends.
Yeah,
died.
yeah.
And then the villain's like, I'm you from the I'm the you that never gave up, and now I'm an old man and I'm evil. It's a
Yeah.
fucking terrible movie.
Elvis, we found out about this film's existence from this video, from looking at the films. And we were like, wait, what? There's an Elvis
Oh,
film? And then
God.
we were like, who's directing it? And I went, what the fuck? It's Baz Luhrmann. And what's very interesting is we were both really confused of its existence.
Yes.
And then I said, watch this be a random Best Picture nominee.
Is it a Best Picture nominee? Fuck.
But I said it in a very jokingly way, like, watch this be a random Best Picture. And it is a very random Best Picture nominee.
It's also shit.
I enjoyed it.
It gave me a fucking headache, and I turned it off 35 minutes in. I've still not seen all of it. I watched the first act and thought, fuck, what the fuck is going on? I got real upset about it. I think I messaged you a big paragraph.
You
being like,
did,
what
yeah.
the fuck is happening?
The 4.
What?
Thor 4.
Thor 4 more Thor.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said it's gonna exist,
Yeah.
and then you said I hope it's Taika Waititi doing a good movie, not Ragnarok again.
So I was semi-right. Imagine Ragnarok again, but it's terrible. Imagine Ragnarok again, but it makes you want to gouge your eyes out with a blunt spoon.
And I mean, I was right in the sense that it does exist, but it's also like, it's not good.
It's a terrible, terrible.
We talked about Black Adam for a bit, and you went again. Could go either way. Could it?
Oh, could it? Could it have gone either way, Robbie? Or could it have been the worst movie I've ever seen? I mean,
did it shake the foundation? I mean, technically it did. James Gunn was like, yeah, let's
yeah, the hierarchy of power in the DC universe did change. As in,
get away from this.
As in, James Gunn took it over and said, "Fuck you" to The Rock.
When The Rock was really trying to be the Kevin Feige for some reason, but he pushed himself.
I'm gonna get into it later.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry about it.
We'll
I'm gonna talk about this later on.
We talked about Don't Worry, Darling. I said
Yeah.
I'm excited, and you said sounds great, and then Don't Worry, Darling came out.
Then Chris Pine spat on Harry Styles.
Other way round.
Was it the other way around?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course it was. Yeah.
But also apparently it's like someone pointed out was that you can clearly see Chris Pine clearly like didn't see his sunglasses, then he realized where he put his sunglasses.
Yeah, I don't know.
But also
it's still
it
weird.
Didn't matter.
It didn't matter. It's a fucking bizarre movie.
Spider-Verse 2, you said this could be my favorite film of the year.
Yeah, it could have been.
It could have been.
It could have been. Could be this year. I don't know.
Halloween Ends. I said, as much as even though I was looking forward to it, I did say I'm extremely cautious. And what I also said was Star Wars did me dirty last time.
Whoa, are you a fucking psychic?
I also went, I hope it goes more batshit. And it kind of
did in the sense that Michael Myers isn't the killer of the last Halloween movie.
I wanted it more batshit in the sense like I want Michael Myers destroying the town, but then he's just kind of a bitch.
I don't get it. Man.
Yeah, no.
What a bizarre film.
Tyler McCulloch went. I don't know why I said his full name.
Scumbag of the podcast.
I don't know why I said his full name. Yeah. Tyler McCulloch went to me. I didn't mind that one, but he's only seen the first one and that one.
Fucking
so I'm like, why?
Watch Season of the Witch, you fucking pussy.
Well, I was gonna say watch any of the.
Watch Season of the Witch, the best one.
It's not
the best Halloween movie. Season of the Witch.
Puss in Boots 2. We found out about this film's existence on this video. We were both really confused of its existence. We were like, what the fuck? We both went, who asked for this?
Yeah.
And then we also went, it's gonna be shit, obviously. Let's move on. And apparently it's great.
It's incredible.
We haven't seen it yet. But
I wonder if the Big Egg's back.
Oh yeah.
Remember his mate in that movie was Humpty Dumpty, the Big Egg?
At the time, this film was just the untitled David O. Russell film. It was Amsterdam we were talking about, and we both liked the sound of it.
Yeah.
And I went, the Oscars would probably like it.
No
one saw it.
Turns out David O. Russell's a terrible guy.
Well, we all knew that anyway.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, didn't you?
I didn't know that before all the Amsterdam stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the beginning of it. I enjoyed the fact that Taylor Swift gets thrown under a car like 5 minutes in.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I was watching it being like, whenever Taylor Swift shows up in something, I'm like, I mean, good on her for trying to do acting, but I'd rather not you be a main character. And then someone just grabs her and throws her under a car.
Do you know what's a really bizarre thing? Like video that exists. I think I sent you the screenshot. It's like how Variety, or is it Variety or Vanity? I think it's Vanity Fair do the actors on actors, directors on directors.
Yeah.
They have there's a director on director with Mark McDonough and Taylor Swift. I was like, what the fuck?
What a fucking combination of people.
Well, I know Taylor Swift directed that her music video, directed that short film with Sadie Sink and Dylan O'Brien, but
that's bizarre.
But that was also last year as well.
Yeah,
so
and also
like,
Martin McDonough. It's such a tonal clash of like, what the fuck is going on?
But he was like, I like your. He was genuine with it. He was like your music. The short film you did was really good. So it's like it wasn't just like, what the fuck am I doing here? You cunt.
Yeah.
There was no cunt and banshees. It was just feck.
Yeah,
you feck.
I want to throw you under a car in my movie. It's really brutal as well.
Oh, is it like a proper?
It's not even like it's the car is in on it. It just like someone sees a car coming past and just grabs her and fucking launches her underneath it. It's so good.
And the last film we talked about properly was Black Panther 2.
Oh yeah.
And then I said I'm intrigued, and you said it might be the weakest Marvel film of the year.
It wasn't. It wasn't the weakest one because Thor also came out.
Thor also came out.
It wasn't very good though.
Well,
I didn't like it, but that's
yeah.
Is what it is.
But yeah, and also the last thing before we properly get into it, we don't have a pen and paper here, but I want you to open up your notes, Robbie.
All right.
And like last
can
year,
do that.
this will be a fun thing.
Okay.
Let's try and see if we can guess each other's top 5.
Yeah.
And-
Okay.
And I might cut this out because
Do they have to be in order?
it can be, but if you don't,
Okay.
because I think this will, and I think this is going to be a lot more difficult than
Yeah.
last year was. In all honesty.
Okay.
Oh. You see, I know. Well, you told me what your number 3 is,
Oh yeah.
so I
did.
know that. I'm trying like,
I've got my 5.
and I'm not sure what could be a 5th one for you.
Let me have a check.
I'm trying to think of like all the films that we've seen that you've been like from that
I
reaction.
just checked what it is.
From that reaction, which one could it be?
Are you between 2 by any chance?
Yeah, I'm just trying to wrap my head of what it could be. I'm gonna go with this one
Okay.
and see.
Go what you fucking tells you, man. I don't know.
Yeah, right. I've got that locked in. And without further ado, should we get in our top 10? I'll start
Okay.
because my top 10s. What I've realised, your shit's more fun to end on. Like remember, like last year, I was like, right now, my number 1 is another round. Let me talk about the very personal reason why this is my number 1.
Yeah.
It's like, right now, Robbie, let's end it with fucking Spider-Man.
Before we begin, would you like me to read you this really weird headline that I've just read?
Go on.
Downton Abbey venue forced to scrap weddings thanks to Brexit. What? You know when you read something, you're like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Right.
Continue.
So my number 10.
Yeah.
Although this one's not a really dour one.
Oh, yeah.
My number 10 is a film that just didn't know was existing until apparently it was the best thing in the world. It's RRR.
What?
Which I love the title. Do you know the significance of the title?
No, I don't. I know nothing about this.
Because, right, again, I'm very not familiar with Indian cinema.
Yeah.
This is
okay.
I think this is the first Indian film I've seen, like
okay.
fully Indian
Yeah.
film I've seen. And the directors, S.S. Rajamouli, and the 2 actors I can't remember the names of, but they begin with their surnames also begin with R or something like that.
Oh.
So the film is just the director and then the 2 leads, who are 2 massive Indian stars.
Right. Okay.
And the director is someone basically said, imagine, right, if like in the mid-90s, Spielberg, Schwarzenegger, and Stallone did a film together, and the film was called SSS.
Right. Okay.
That's basically what this equivalent is. So like imagine like straight off of Jurassic Park, straight off of Terminator 2,
Straight off of whatever.
Rocky
stuff.
5.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It was like this, and now this film.
Oh my god.
So again, I didn't
That's
know
hilarious.
the significance of the film, but apparently, like this is the first time that these 2 actors have co-starred in a film together.
Yeah.
Because this is the first time a film could afford them both in a film
Oh,
together.
okay. Yeah.
The director S.S. Rajamouli is like big Indian director.
Yeah.
He's huge over there.
Yeah.
But to me, this film, what this film is to me is an absolutely insane fun time.
Okay.
It's an action musical, everything.
I want to watch it so badly.
This is what I mean. I think you would enjoy the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
But also, we didn't have time last night to stick it on. It was like, we don't have 3 hours to spare, Robbie.
No.
That's the other thing. It's 3 hours. I think we get like 45 minutes in, and then we get like the title. So it's like the first like act is
Yeah.
basically like, let's set up these 2 characters and why.
Right. Okay.
It becomes like establishing of like, this is this guy and why he's the coolest motherfucker, and this is this guy and this is why he's also a really cool motherfucker. And then they meet and then they bromance
Brilliant.
really hard.
Okay.
And then there's like they save a child from a burning bridge by, I can't even
The
quite
power of
explain
friendship?
it. Kind of, yeah. They end up like, so this is the bridge.
Yeah.
They end up tying a rope around each other. They dive off either end of the bridge. One of them grabs like the Indian flag or whatever flag it is.
Right.
The other one grabs the child from the flames. They end up propelling around each other, back to each other.
Yeah.
The guy with the child flings the kid to the other guy. The other guy flings the flag to the other guy. They switch. Child gets saved from the flames. When the other guy's about to be swinging into the flames, he wraps himself in the flag so he doesn't get burnt to death, and then swings back round, and then they like grab hold of each other, save each other. They lock eyes. The title starts, and then we get a song, like a montage about their friendship for a bit.
How did they get down from that bridge?
We don't need to know. We don't need.
Okay.
We don't need. But that's what I mean. Logic's gone. We don't give a shit. There's a moment where one of them lobs a tiger at a guy.
Brilliant.
Just
throws
him. Just grabs the tiger, throws him. CGI, not as bad as I thought it would be.
Okay.
Really, it's noticeable, but actually, is it though? There's a lot of, like, they CGI all the animals, and they say that as well. It's like, no animals were hurt in this.
Yeah.
And they look good, man. Like, they're good enough. Like, one of them fights a tiger, and you can see his, like, face and mouth and everything. It's like,
okay,
that's good.
Yeah.
I think what this film really did for me, it's like, it just gave me a whale of a time.
Yeah.
And I also got actually emotionally attached to the characters. Like, because there's in the little montage song of it all, it's like, they're bros, they're mates, they're really cool and chill, but also, there might be a rift between. The song basically goes like, it'll be really tragic if these two fall out and fight each other, and then you're like, oh no, that's exactly what's gonna happen. But but the best way I can like explain the film in terms of like why I love it. Again, the film starts off really like grim war thing, but then there's also this really cool action moment. But then there's just a segment in the film where it becomes kind of like a rom-com, where like one of them is fancying this English lady, and then the other one's like, why don't you go talk to her? And he goes, no. He goes, go on, bro. And he helps him out. He helps a bro out. And there's like there's a solid 20 minutes where it's just a rom-com.
It's a what you're telling me is this is a 3-hour Bollywood movie where
not Bollywood, it's Tollywood.
Oh, sorry.
There's differences. Yes.
Apologies.
Yeah.
A 3-hour Tollywood movie where it's everything that movies can be. Just lobbed into 3 hours for the sake of it.
Do it.
War movie. Fucking superhero movie.
Yes.
Action.
Yes.
Rom-com.
Yes. Yes.
Everything.
Yes, legitimately.
Musical for no reason.
Yes. Well, and also, because I sent you the clip, I'm not sure if you watched it, Natu.
Oh, yeah.
To me, I've watched that clip so many times because it just encapsulates everything that I really dig about the film.
Yeah.
Where it's just like they're at this English party or whatever, and like the Englishman's like, "You get out, you blah 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 blah," and then it's like, you can't dance, you don't know the cha cha or the tango, and the woman goes, "Do you know Natu?" and then the English guy goes, "What's Natu?" And then they just go so hard, and it's just
so hard for no reason.
And there's a point where the ground starts shaking because they're dancing so intensely.
Amazing.
It's such a blast. It goes from that to like a really heartbreaking moment. These guys are like superheroes, but you believe like they don't have superpowers. But there's a point where it's like where it gets they end up falling out or some shit. Like that one of them realizes that the other one is his enemy, but now he knows it. And he can't handle it because friendship's the most important thing in this film. Like this, like it's friendship is the thing.
Friendship is a superpower.
And then he realizes, oh no, my best friend's my enemy. And then he just punches through a wall so many times while screaming in slow motion. It's what Zack Snyder wishes he could do.
One of the best things I've seen about this movie is that video where Jim Cameron goes up to the guy.
That's right.
And he's like, and he's just going like, it's the best movie I've seen in fucking years. And he's just like, he like straight up just analyzes the guy's own movie to him. Like he does like a video essay to his face about his own movie. Which is amazing. Like, what a fucking compliment. Jim Cameron coming up to you and being like, your movie's fucking incredible.
Didn't S.S. Roger Woolley be like, you're such an inspiration?
Yeah, it's like, that just means the world to me. Yeah.
It's the equivalent of like when Martin Scorsese, when like my faith in cinema was restored when I saw Tar.
Yeah. It's like, what?
Oh yeah, Tar's another film that won't count this year because
sorry,
came out in January.
Yeah.
But so RRR, such a blast. It's a film I do want to just watch with people.
Yeah.
And it's like, have you seen like reactions to it in like Indian cinemas?
No.
It's such an event. People like
screaming. It's like Endgame, but
no, it is. It's like it's like the actor walks on screen and like people apparently like S.S. Roger Woolley was like on like was it Colbert? I think it's called Bear. Just
Okay.
like talking about it. It's like, yeah, there's people like who turn up, like they get newspapers, rip them up so they become confetti, and it's just confetti just
That's
going off.
amazing.
And like when the dancing happens, everyone gets up and dances with
Nice.
it. It goes. I mean, I can imagine people like Reese would be like, "This is fucking abysmal.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Sit down, just watch it."
I'm just trying to enjoy my glass of milk. My big Coca-Cola cup of milk.
Disgusting
Awful.
image.
What an awful image.
Can I have a Tango Ice Blast, but instead of the ice
Yeah,
blast,
can I have
give me
can I have milk in it,
a
please?
Tango Ice? That's a disgusting image.
Tango milk blast, please. Oh god.
Is that what he calls it? Is it?
Tango milk blast.
God damn.
Do you want to go out for dinner sometime? Come back to mine and get a Tango milk blast.
God, that's such like.
We can cut this.
But, no, I'm not. But yes, my number 10 is RRR. It's one of the more fun times I've had watching a film.
Okay.
Yeah,
You ready for my number 10?
I am.
Minions: The Rise of Gru.
No, it isn't.
No, can you
No, it
imagine?
isn't. I didn't get it. No.
Can you fucking imagine? My number 10 movie of 2022,
Yes.
yes, is The Menu,
Oh, yeah.
starring Ralph Fiennes.
Rafe.
Ralph
Rafe.
Fiennes.
Rafe. I didn't get this. I didn't get this.
And Anya Taylor-Joy and Nicholas Hoult.
Big bad Nick Holt.
So, okay, when I remember seeing the trailers for this movie a lot.
Yes.
And being like, this looks like a fun, sort of dark comedy,
Yeah.
fun little time, is what the trailers look like, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yes.
Isn't that what the trailers look like, Oscar?
Is it more of like a horror flick?
Yes.
Right, okay.
I didn't know. And me and
Right.
Julia went to it, and we sat down, and the trailers start playing, and it's just fucking trailers for horror movies. And she's like, have you taken me to a fucking horror film? Like, what is this? And I was like, I don't think so. And then the fucking thing comes up where it's like 15, and it's like, images of suicide, images of drowning, all this stuff. And I was like, oh, no, what have I done? And what followed was a movie that really surprised me.
Okay.
I thought I was going to go, yeah, it's a fun little time and whatever. But performances all around are fucking great.
How's Anya Taylor-Joy in it?
She's playing the same character she's played for the last 5 years of her career. But she's good at it, so I'll let her off.
No, but that's two different types.
Yeah.
Right, she's not the witch.
No, she's not.
Last Night in
She's
Soho.
Not, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. She's, I don't know. Anya Taylor-Joy is one of those actresses where I haven't seen anything where I've gone, you've really impressed me there.
No, I
don't know.
can
You know,
admit I can say the same thing. Yeah.
But yeah, so she's very good in it. Nicholas Hoult is, I hate him so much in this movie.
What, the character?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
The guy sucks, and that's kind of the point. The whole point of the movie is that everybody sucks. So that's fine.
Is it like rich people bad?
Yeah, it's a
Right.
lot of that. It's a lot of it's more a thing about criticism and criticism of art.
Right. Oh, okay.
And so Ralph.
Yeah,
Your name's spelt Ralph. You called Ralph.
pronounced Rafe.
He's incredible, and I don't understand why he's not getting any awards buzz for this.
I mean, he got nominated for a Globe.
Yeah.
Golden Globe.
He's very good in it, and his character's really interesting because he's kind of this chef that he's lost all faith in like his art,
Right.
and he's kind of like, people don't appreciate it, and I could literally do anything and whatever. And so then he just like invites all these rich people to a fucking island to a meal where they don't realize that they're all gonna die.
Yeah.
And he just kills everyone.
Right.
And
okay.
it's great. And everybody dies, and it's fucking. I mean, it's not really a spoiler.
Is it a good gory time?
Not particularly gory, it must be said. So this is a thing that there's bits where I didn't. There's one point, and you'll know if you see it. It's like the end of the first act where it's like the big turning point of like, oh shit, I see what's happening here.
Right.
And that turning point is excellent and really sudden and terrifying. There's a part where a guy gets his finger chopped off, which is probably as gory as it gets.
Okay.
But there's some really good character moments in there. Like Nicholas Hoult is this guy where he's like, he's big into his food criticism and he thinks he's a big old foodie, but he's never fucking cooked anything and he doesn't He's one of those
yeah,
guys.
Yeah.
He's like a film critic that's never made a movie sort of thing. Is kind of the vibe that you get.
I don't think you need to make a film to be a film critic. Like,
Yeah, but
I know the type of people
like,
mean.
you know,
when they're saying like, as if they could have done it better.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
When they haven't.
And
yeah,
then the way that I'm just gonna spoil this. There's spoilers for this movie. I apologize. Do you care? It's on Disney Plus, but
I'd say it or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nicholas Hoult. So he the way that he dies in the movie is Ray Fiennes goes, "You say all these things about food. Come into the kitchen and cook me something." And then he's terrified because he's like he really looks up to Ray Fiennes or whatever. And he's dude cooks this thing and it's horrible. And they do a really funny thing where every portion, like every, what do you even call it?
Dish?
Yeah, every dish that comes out, there's like a thing next to it that says like what it is and blah blah blah, and they do like a cool, like an Instagram ad sort of.
Oh right, yeah.
And his comes up and it looks horrendous and it just says like Tyler's bullshit or something like that at the top, which is great. And then at the end, he serves it. Ray Fiennes tries it, and then he comes in real close. He whispers something in his ear that we don't hear, and Nicholas Hoult just walks away. And then we see him about 15 minutes later in a freezer, and he's hung himself. And we have no idea. You'd never find out what Ray Fiennes said to him.
It's like a lost in translation
yeah,
situation.
but he like completely crushed his spirit, and he just kills himself. But yeah, very good, horrible time that has, but enjoyable horrible.
Yeah.
If you go into it, I think if you go into it not expecting what it is, you're probably going to have a worse time. I think if I'd have known that it wasn't a dark comedy and was actually this kind of like suspense thriller that's really kind of saying something about art and whatever, but also at the same time, it is very funny.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, go see it, enjoy it. It's great. I enjoyed it. I think I had a good time. And Julia said, yeah, it was good. So,
I heard someone say it's kind of similar tone of Ready or Not.
No.
Isn't it? Okay.
No. Ready or Not, I would say, is a horror comedy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call this a comedy.
Okay, right.
No, it's more. This one's more suspense horror stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
It's a cool movie.
I might give it a go one evening.
Yeah, give it a little go.
When I'm like, I don't know what to do, but I want to watch something new. But yeah, I'll do that.
And you'll get a great performance out of
Rafe.
Ralph.
Rafe.
How's his name spelled?
Ralph.
Ralph.
The old English way of pronunciation. It's Rafe. Are you one of these people going to be like, right, I know your Irish name is spelt this way.
No, I'm not that guy.
So then it should be.
I'm not calling Neve Nyam.
There you go then.
I mean, I don't know. It's not Rafe Wiggum, is it, in The Simpsons?
My number 9. Not having an argument about fucking Rafe and Ralph. Not doing it.
Not today.
Rafe Garman.
Jesus Christ.
My number 9.
Yeah.
Rafe
Lauren. Bullshit, man. Your number 9.
My number 9 is a film that I'm surprised got 0 things at the Oscars.
Oh, yeah.
It's a film called Decision to Leave, the new Park Chan-wook film.
A big snub, would you say?
A massive snub. Well, I thought it was going to be the favorite to win Best International Film.
No.
And now it's definitely All Quiet on the Western Front.
Okay,
it's definitely All Quiet on the Western.
Yeah.
Boring pick is all I'll say.
Haven't seen it yet.
It's a good film, but
okay.
Watch the 1931. It's a lot better.
Oh. Okay.
It just is a lot better, and it's half an hour shorter.
Right.
So there
fair enough.
So there you go. But Decision to Leave. Talked about on one of the episodes that we did of when I first watched it. I'm a big Park Chan-wook fan. Old Boy's one of my all-time favorite films. I also really like The Handmaiden and Thirst. His vampire film. He did. This is the most subdued of Park Chan-wook has ever been. It's not really like stylized and fucked up, although there is a lot of cool stylistic stuff in it.
Yeah.
Very deals with modern technology incredibly well. I would say, like in terms of like the usage of texting and stuff like that. There's some really cool directing visual shots in it, in the sense that like we then get a point of view from the phone where there's like a graphic of the 3 dots of someone about us with like just the close up on like the main character's face
That's
type
cool.
of thing.
Yeah.
It's cool shit like that.
Mhm.
Obviously, again, it's a Park Chan-wook film. You're gonna get some cool style to it,
Yeah.
even though it's quite restrained
Mm.
in comparisons to his other films. This is a very performance-driven film, and it helps that both actors are really good in it.
Yeah.
It is his most romantic film as well, is what I would say, which it's a film. It's weird because watched it, liked it a lot, didn't really think loads about it until coming towards the end of the year, and then I started thinking. Then it started coming more in my head a bit more. Again, it's like a procedural crime film
Okay.
that it's quite Hitchcockian actually. It is quite a Hitchcockian type of drama. Someone weirdly enough said that it's very Wong Kar-wai. I don't get that in it. I guess someone said it's kind of in the mood for love in the sense of like it's a doomed romance, like it's a romance that has it shouldn't be happening,
Okay.
and it's not, and it realistically won't ever happen. But these two characters are really trying, but in a very unconventional way. I don't know how to really describe it. It's one of these. It's again weirdly to say it's a quiet film, but also really stylistic, which is not really which shouldn't work. But Park Chan-wook makes it work. I would say it's one of the best directed films of the year.
Okay.
I would say that. And it will be a film I will revisit because I'm still thinking about it enough.
Yeah.
Not a film that's been too present in my mind. That's why it's number 9 and not higher.
Yeah.
But definitely worth a watch, especially if you like Park Chan-wook and seeing what he can do on a more lesser level.
Okay.
In a sense, because he's not just hyper violent, hyper stylized. He can do a more. Let's rein it back a bit. Let's rein it back a bit. Let's do a little like cool little noir thriller romance. Say, okay, cool, and it's enjoyable enough. And it's on Mubi, so I need to rewatch it again. Yeah.
Would I like it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Because it's not wanky and all that shit. It's got some cool South Korean stylistic stuff to it.
Yeah.
It's got some good humor in it as well. Again, there's a few times where I had a good chuckle about it.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I would say you would enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give that a go.
Yeah. Decision to Leave. It's another one of these 2.5-hour films that also came out.
Yeah. Oh god.
2022, the year of fucking really long films
the
for
year
some
of a
reason.
long movie. You ready for mine?
I am.
My number 9 of the year, baby.
It's the Boss Baby 3.
It's the Boss Baby 3. Does that exist? Oh fucking hell.
It's like, did I miss the Boss?
Yeah,
Baby
did I miss
3?
the Boss Baby 3? Did that baby murder someone?
The Boss Man.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like that. My number 9 is a movie we talked about last night. It's Clerks 3.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, so I like the Clerks movies a fair whack. I like Kevin Smith generally as a guy. I think he's an incredible guy. I think he's just joyous. You know, he's one of those guys where like now that he doesn't make as many movies, he's said himself that he's made a living off just being himself.
Yeah.
And he's very good at it.
Yeah,
So I could listen to him talk about anything, and he's
The amount of times I've watched The Evening Withs.
Yeah,
On
it's so
repeat.
good. And I think as well, like, one thing that I do appreciate for Kevin Smith is that because he's such a big comic book nerd. Sometimes, as a comic book fan, you watch a comic book movie and you go, "Oh, I don't know, I was kind of disappointed by that," and whatever. Maybe this whole comic book movie thing's like, maybe it's not going downhill or whatever. And then you watch Kevin Smith's reaction to something, and he's just so excited that it exists, and it's kind of infectious that you go, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, like it's crazy that these movies even come out." So that's.
Remember when
great.
it was news that it was like Kevin Smith cried at the Star Wars trailer, and it's like Kevin Smith cried at like the tease
everything.
of Arrow
Yeah.
season 6 or something.
Yeah, he cried. I've seen the video of him crying at the end of season 1 of The Flash. He just he's like bawling his eyes out. It's amazing.
I love it.
I love him. And so, obviously, it was a very scary time when he had a heart attack.
Yes.
Suddenly. He just
2016?
Yeah. He just suddenly
2017,
had this horrible
2016?
heart attack, which Thankfully, he survived.
Yes.
He's told the story a million times. You can find it in a million interviews where he manages
tells the same.
He somehow managed to tell it the same, beat by beat, word by word, every time he does it. I don't know how the fuck he remembers it like
whether
that.
if he's looking at the camera talking about it,
Yeah,
whether if he's on Colbert, whether if he's doing one of his many IMDb shows that he's doing for Comic-Con, whether if he's
he brings it up and he loves it.
well, he's on a random Collider podcast.
Yeah. But he said that because obviously, Clerks came out, and like you said, last night, the whole thing for ages was Clerks 2. When's Clerks 2 happening? Blah, blah,
And then
blah.
Clerks 2 did come
Then
out.
Clerks 2 happened, and it's great. I think I like it more than the first movie.
It's my favorite Kevin Smith film.
I think it's better than the first one.
That's my favorite Kevin Smith film.
Yeah, I really like that movie, and then this discussion became, well, when
Clerks 3?
you're doing the trilogy,
Yeah.
like when's the trilogy gonna be finished off? And he'd been writing it for years, and he'd been like, maybe it'll come out.
Jeff
maybe
Anderson
it will.
said no.
Yeah, Jeff Anderson, which fair enough, because if Clerks is this classic movie, you want to make it. If you're going to do a sequel, you want it to be right. If I was Jeff Anderson, I can understand that.
Jeff Anderson, I don't think ever really wanted to be an actor as such.
No,
I think he wanted to be a filmmaker first and foremost.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's
so he's kind of like, I'll only do it if it's
Yeah.
if it's good and I want to do it. And they'd been writing the script for ages, and maybe it wasn't going to be done. Blah blah blah.
he changed after he had his heart attack.
Yeah, after his heart attack, he
completely changed.
He suddenly decided. He realized when he was on the operating table, oh shit, I never made Clerks 3. If I get out of this, I'm gonna make that movie.
He brought back Reboot.
He did reboot in between, which I think was probably because he was struggling with how to make the script as good as it could.
He wanted to bring back Jay and Silent Bob anyway.
Yeah,
and also wasn't that more of a thing to like say thanks to Muse for everything?
Yeah,
anyway?
So.
Give him one last
that one's very much Jay's movie.
Well, that's the whole point.
Yeah, and
well, it is also very Kevin Smith in the sense of like him being a dad.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. And then we get Clerks 3, which for people who don't know what the movie's about, it's one of the most meta things I've seen in fucking years.
Yeah.
So
it's what Fellini did with 8.5.
Yeah. So Randall and
Kevin Smith's 8.5.
Randall and Dante, after Clerks 2, own the quick stop from the first movie, and Randall has a heart attack. He is saved in the exact same way as how Kevin Smith was saved. They have the same heart attack, the same type of heart attack, the same blockage. Yeah. Everything is the same. He then realizes that he's done nothing with his life.
Yeah.
And has always loved movies, so he's like, why don't I fucking make a movie? And they decide to make Clerks.
They just make Clerks.
They make the movie Clerks. So they make, in the continuity of the movie, they make the first movie.
Yes.
As a movie.
Yes.
Which is so smart. I really like it as an idea for the movie.
I also like the small little things of like why they choose to do the shutters. Because in real,
yeah. In reality, it was because there was like chewing gum in the locks, right, or something.
That was in canon.
Oh, that's in the movie.
In real life, it was like they could only film at night.
Yeah, so the shutters would be down.
So they did a thing of
So so things like that where it's like that's fucking great. And Dante is kind of
like Silent Bob's way of like we're shooting this in black and white. And he's like, look, as the DOP.
Yeah.
That's
one of the best parts in the movie is Silent Bob's speech, because every movie there's usually a point where Silent Bob just goes on a big fucking speech.
To be fair, I like 2 where he goes, Clerks 2, like,
can you fucking? Yeah.
I've got nothing.
Yeah, which is excellent. But he has this big fucking rant where he's like, we're shooting in black and white because the line's gonna look fucking awesome. We're gonna do this, and this with a set, and it's like, fuck.
I'm shooting this in black and white. No, fuckers.
Yeah. So they
got that clip and I went, that's me. And when I was like, have you thought about doing Love Bethany in colour? Look, I'm
black
shooting
and white.
We're not doing it.
So because
that's how an artist thinks.
Yeah. Then fucking Dante is like letting him go along with it because he feels bad for him after the heart attack and whatever. But
Don is the producer. Of
the but Randall's because he's always been a bad bloke and he's kind of being selfish and whatever. And then at the end. Oh no! Are we spoiling?
Get spoilers.
Spoilers for Clerks 3. Skip ahead if you don't want to know.
Yeah. Look at the chapter mark. Yeah.
Dante has a heart attack, which took me by like completely took the wind out of me because I was like, what the fuck? Because I thought, oh, we've done the heart attack thing because Randall had a heart
Yeah,
attack.
we did
and
it, yeah.
And that was what the thing was. No, Dante has a heart attack as well at the end and fucking dies.
Yeah,
and
straight up.
And so the main character of this series all the way through fucking dies at the end of the third movie, which I love. It made me cry. And it kind of felt like a good send off. It's like he's like, I survived the heart attack, I finished the trilogy, and me killing off the character at the end and letting him be peaceful with his girlfriend who has died between movies.
Interesting choice.
Really interesting choice, but I think it works.
Fine with it. I'm
I'm fine with it. It works well.
It's also a great way of like not having to pay Rosario Dawson.
Well, exactly.
Rosario Dawson money.
Now Star Wars star that they can't
realistically
afford. Yeah, so Rosario Dawson's in it a little bit. She died off screen between 2 and 3, but she shows up as like a memory sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then he gets to go off and live the rest of his life with her or whatever, dead. And that's great.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, good. It's a great send off for the franchise. I never want to see another Viewer's Universe movie again.
No.
That's not to say like they're going downhill and I never want to see another one. I mean, like, that's a perfect ending.
But we were talking about it in the sense of like, we got Clerks 3.
Yeah.
That's that wrap.
Yeah.
We got Reboot. That's Jay and Silent Bob's thing there.
And Chase and Amy got finished.
Chase and Amy got finished in Reboot as well, so
that's done.
I don't need to see another Dogma.
No. And also Loki was in Reboot.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Random. Such a
random.
random.
The most random cameo as Matt Damon turns around as fucking Loki from that movie.
And I don't need more brats now.
No.
I don't need more brats.
And they also showed up in Reboot, and it was fine.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't need to do that.
Everything's wrapped.
Yeah. Everything's wrapped up. The only thing that needs to wrap up was Dante and Randall, and I think
they killed
they killed Dante, and it wraps it up perfectly. So
which
I'm
is
kind of
funny
like,
because Dante was going to die in the original ending of Clerks, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
He shot.
Yeah, but it's
which
like
they make a brilliant reference to.
Yes, but it starts with him and it ends with him.
Yeah,
and that's great. So lovely, little, wholesome, filled a little gap in my heart which I didn't know I needed filling. And I was like, good. I'm happy that this is now done. And we can put it to bed, and it wasn't a bad ending.
No,
I'm glad that the trilogy finished. We got a
third film that didn't,
which was good. Yeah, so I'm like, good. I've got a good solid trilogy to watch whenever I want to.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That will be a good like back to back actually. Yeah.
So Clerks 3.
I need to watch I need to watch the View Askew films again. Yeah. Like all of them again.
I want to watch Chasing Amy again. I didn't see
same. Yeah.
I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, my number 9, Clerks 3.
My number 8. Is The Northman.
Oh.
Big Robert Eggers fan over here.
Boy.
Hey, I'm a big egg boy.
I'm a big eggy boy.
Robert Eggers is a man that I'm going to watch anything that man does.
Yeah.
The Lighthouse is like my second favorite horror ever.
No, fair enough.
It's a film that it was the blueprint to my film, the whole fucking film that I did last year.
Yeah.
And The Witch I really like as well. The Witch is really good. The Witch. And The Northman, I was really excited for this because, Robert Eggers is getting a chance of doing a bigger film. He's doing a bigger budget film. He's doing a Viking film. Yeah. He's still doing his shtick in the sense of like,
it's all like proper Nordic and
folk, period piece stuff, but on a bigger scale. It's got a bunch of people I really like in it.
Yeah. The Skarsgård with the best IMDb picture.
It's just him with his underwear.
It's amazing.
Alexander.
So it's zoomed in, and then if you click on the photo and it like expands it to full scale, you see that he's got no trousers on. Amazing. It's so good.
But him again, Ian Taylor-Joy is in it. Really good in it. Again, I haven't seen anything. Same thing. Haven't seen anything that I've been like, wow, her. But she's always really good in what she does. You got Willem Dafoe in it for a bit.
Good.
You got Ethan Hawke in it for a bit.
Yeah, okay. I like Ethan Hawke.
Well, he's the Mufasa.
Oh, okay.
The film's Hamlet.
Right.
Okay. Well, the story. It's the story that inspired Shakespeare to write Hamlet.
Yeah.
So
is Willem Dafoe Scar?
No. I don't know who the guy is. But yeah, Bjork's in it randomly.
Okay. Sure.
But the film is what this film does a really great job at is scale and scope. It feels epic, with only being a bit over 2 hours as well. So cool. That's how you do an epic film without being really fucking long.
Hey.
I'm gonna end up talking about a really long film later.
Yeah,
anyway,
we're gonna talk about it.
But yes. What I really liked about it is very Robert Eggers in the sense like he just bleak so well.
Yeah.
he's a brilliant filmmaker, just being bleak.
Mm.
But also make like these are like films that he makes are in theory films that shouldn't really appeal to me. Like they should make me feel really cold and bored.
Yeah.
Like, but weirdly enough, especially with The Northman, again, it's like it's not like a bright, exciting color palette. It's grey, if anything. But I think it's more so I'm so impressed with how big the film is, and like the fact of like there's like barely it's very practical. There's CG in it.
Yeah.
We see Valhalla.
Yeah, so you got
it's like yeah, but it's like I don't know. There's something about where it's like you get swept into the atmosphere with it that just kind of makes you go like, even when there's just moments where characters are just really talking like this, like this. But I'm so into the atmosphere that I'm like,
what?
Like, yeah.
Oh my god.
Keep going with this. And obviously the action in it's cool as fuck. There's that beautiful wanna that's been shown in the trailer. Yeah. But what people don't, it's like we get one wanna.
Yeah.
Of the berserkers fucking storming the village that gets interspliced with another wanna to make it look like a continuous one of when they jump the fucking barrier. We see more slaughter, but then we cut and then we get another really long wanna of him just walking through the carnage.
Nice.
So the film does a really great job at like doing making it feel very like, I don't know, like lived in and just very like, it feels like very old school epic while still feeling really modern. It's a really cool way of doing it. Yeah. Film I was going to stick it on the other week, but then I was like, it was like 10 o'clock. I went, it's going to get like 10 past midnight and it's quite a heady film. Oh, Nicole Kidman's in it. She's really good in it.
Yeah, I thought she
was. There's there's a lot of moments that are very Eggers. Very Eggers in this in terms of character shit.
Yeah.
Which he's kind of like, I feel like people talk a lot about like Robert Eggers, they go, ooh, the atmosphere. Which yes, but he's a really good character. He's really good at writing characters. I mean, The Lighthouse is just these two guys.
Yeah, just two guys.
And a really interesting character, like look at like the descent of man's mentality. Whereas like this is I think even Eggers is like, I mean, it's just me doing a bit of a revenge film. It's just a bit of a fun revenge film.
Cool.
And fun's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
It's more blockbustery than any of his other films, but it's it still feels authentic Robert Eggers.
Okay.
Really like the film. Film I will rewatch, but I am looking forward to when he does Nosferatu because that's going to be proper.
That's going to be proper Eggers.
I hope
proper
so,
eggy boy.
And we're going to have an eggy head boy.
Yeah,
probably.
Eggy head boy. Oh my god, yeah, an eggy boy in an eggy boy film.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Eggy bread.
Eggy bread. Where's the egg? Who's to say? Is it number 8 time?
Yes, it is your number 8.
Man, my number 8 movie of the year is Boiling Point.
Oh,
with Stephen Graham. Stephen Graham.
You're right, Stephen Graham here.
Yeah, I mean, that's John Lennon, isn't it? I think that was more close to John Lennon.
I was trying to do that like Bet365 ad that you did.
Oh, I don't remember that. That was Ray Winston, wasn't it?
Oh, it was another bet.
Two very different guys.
No. Stephen Graham was in a betting advert. It might not be Bet365. But there's a point where it's just like, I always skip it by that because it's like, I only ever get to the point of the advert of where it goes 3, 2, 1, skip ad. So all I ever see is just, you're right, Stephen Graham here. And then I was like, right, I'm going to skip now.
Right, that's enough of that. I'm sick of that. But when I didn't get sick of him in this movie.
In Boiling Point, yeah. Talk about Wanners. One Wanner.
So, do you know what's crazy about the behind the scenes of that movie?
I need to watch it.
Yeah. One thing that's crazy about it is that the movie is an actual Wanner. And it's not like a faked Wanner. The whole movie is one take.
It's not a Birdman situation.
No. Which, hey, I'm thankful for the fact that it's fucking short. It's like an hour 25.
Yeah.
And it's brisk and it moves like fucking clip.
You get to it.
The pacing's amazing.
Yes.
It's so fast and it only helps to add the tension. Incredibly impressive that it is all one take.
Yeah.
What is mental is the fact that they did 3 takes of this movie and the second take is the one that was used.
They were meant to do 5. No, they were meant to do more. But COVID hit them all of a sudden. It was like, we need
Oh.
to stop. So we've only got these takes.
Fucking hell.
They were meant to do a whole week
incredible.
of multiple.
Well, they did.
yeah.
They used the second take and they did it 3 times. So what happened? So why did they do a third one? Surely
Well, they
you
were
just-
meant to do multiple from the
I
start.
mean, I commend the director. I don't know who did it.
I'll fact check.
Thank you. But I commend the director because I mean, you know what I'm like directing wise. I'm just kind of like, right, we got it. Let's fucking move on. Whereas like to go, well, I think that was a really good take, but let's do the whole movie again. What the fuck are you talking about?
Philip Barantini.
Yeah,
Barantini.
amazing. All the characters are great. I love Stephen Graham's character.
Oh, he's great, man.
You just want him to do well.
Yes.
I mean, you know, he's kind of a broken dude and whatever, but like you just want to give him a fucking cuddle and be like, it's all right, man. Don't worry about it, it's fine. He's got a son that he's probably not seeing too much. And,
Yeah.
oh god, it's fucking heartbreaking.
It's like 8 Mile, but
Yeah,
with chefs.
Exactly. Yeah, especially with that big rap number that he does at the end.
He goes home and barely knows his own
Yeah.
son.
Jesus. Yeah. So and that guy that replaced Cutter in Primeval season 4, niche reference.
I was gonna say,
very,
Jesus.
very niche reference. If you know what I'm talking about, he played the character of Danny in Primeval. Fuck it. Why do
Is
I
it
know that?
this guy?
No, the guy that the critic.
Oh,
Or the one that was his
yeah,
mentor
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
I hate that scumbag. What a
He
piece
was-
of
he-
shit.
He was the main. He was a chef. He was.
yeah,
he
he was
brought a
his
critic.
mentor, wasn't he?
Yeah, he
And
brought a critic with
He
him
brought a critic
for a
with him.
date.
Prick.
Arsehole.
Absolute piece
dickhead.
of shit. And there's like bits that they really like set up really well, things that are clearly going to pay off, and you just kind of sat there going, "Fuck, when's it going to happen?"
The nut allergy.
The nut allergy.
We all called it, but we were still
they
like,
mentioned someone having a nut allergy as soon as they walk in. It's probably about 15 minutes into the movie.
yeah.
And then, like, the whole time you're going, that's going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
Something's going to go wrong. And it doesn't happen until, like, minute 70 or something.
yeah.
But, like, you on the whole time, you sat there going, fuck, this is going to... Oh, fuck. Like, the tension ramping up is so good. I was more tense in this than I was in, like, The Menu, which is a movie that thrives on tension. And it's very good with its tension, but fuck me. I think there's something about how real the characters are and how real the situations are.
Well, the dialogue, the way they talk, it's like this.
There's just people
It's bang
talking.
on.
Yeah, it's not
so bang
yeah.
on.
And it's so obvious that the guy worked in a restaurant.
Oh, definitely. Well, I
that
did.
worked in a kitchen.
Well, I went like the director surely had
He's-
like,
yeah,
and then like Reese
it's-
fact checked. He was like he did it for like he was there for like 10 years.
Yeah,
Like,
it's so
like,
obvious that he did,
it's so
'cause
like
as someone that's worked in, I mean, it's not the same situation at all, but working in a pub and me being a server and serving the food and all that kind
yeah.
of stuff. It's exactly how people talk to each other in a
Yeah.
kitchen. And it's great. And if you
Yeah.
haven't seen it, watch it because it's probably one of the best British movies of the year.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to give a
Fucking-
shout out to Vinette Robinson who played Carly.
Yeah.
Who is excellent.
Awesome. Yeah.
Excellent. Like there was that one moment where she just started kicking off at the manager.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
like,
my god. Yeah, she's great.
I was like, this is sensational. But she has multiple of those kinds of scenes.
Yes.
Like, if anything, Stephen Graham isn't the one who's got these scenes.
Yeah.
It's
No,
her.
it's everyone around her.
It's yeah, and it's like she's just so like I don't know. It's like she has several monologues
Mm.
in a one take film.
Yeah.
Like that's like
It's incredible
mad.
to be able to do it as
There's
well.
also
and pull
the
it
like
off.
lovely little character moments, like well, not lovely little character moments, like brilliantly written character moments. I
Mm.
would say, like, was it Jamie, the lad?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Heartbreaking,
Oh god, yeah, I forgot about that.
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
This film does a really good job at also just let's just hold on moments.
Yeah. Yeah.
For
yeah.
extensive,
And it doesn't-
like a thing happens, and then our reaction is to be like, oh, and then we're like, okay, now we're just gonna cut to the next. I was like,
Yeah.
no, we're not, because it's just a wanna.
And what
So now we're just sitting with the carriage, kind of being
Yeah.
like,
what I like about that as well is the thing with the Jamie guy is that it never comes up again.
don't it?
It has no relevancy to the story, but all of it adds to the idea of, I think, kind of the thesis statement of the whole thing, which is like everyone's got their own shit going on.
And then, like,
and it's
the
like-
woman who's with him is kind of like the mother figure.
Yeah,
We
and-
found out, I think that's Stephen Graham's real life wife.
Oh really?
I think, yeah,
Oh
so,
cool.
yeah,
Oh
so-
nice.
but-
But yeah, it's like everyone's got their own shit going on, and life's tough, and that's the whole thing.
And it was, but that
Like-
gave such like a nice little like bar, because it's like, again, it's
Yeah.
like you have Stephen Graham being like, roll your sleeves up, fucking
Yeah.
come on, and then says it again, keeps his sleeves down. Woman then goes to Jamie, going like, come on, you know what'll happen.
Yeah.
Sees his scars.
Yeah.
We sit with it for a bit.
And you just give him a big
try,
cuddle.
yeah, and it's like, oh shit, and then he's like,
Jesus.
then he has to try the fucking
Yeah, and that,
the.
it's such a good scene because it's like
I forgot what it is. It's like
it's a lemon curd.
Yeah,
sort
that's
of thing.
it. Yeah. And it's like, just be
yeah,
good.
Yeah, you're
be
like,
good.
please be good.
And then Stephen Graham tries. He goes,
that's fucking great.
smash him out.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah.
Oh, well done.
And there's like the little bit of like fucking get like the little victories of it.
Yeah, so it's like through all of it. Like
It's so
Stephen Graham
good.
isn't a complete arsehole, which I like as well.
yeah.
Complicated.
Yeah, he's a very
Underrated
complex guy.
performance of it.
Yeah.
Hugely underrated,
Yeah,
I think.
massively.
Really good. Really, really good film.
yeah.
I agree with you there.
Give it a watch, man.
Yeah,
good
it's on
if you haven't seen
Netflix.
it. It's on Netflix. It's great.
And I can't wait for the TV show.
Yeah, it's a TV
genuinely
show.
can't wait
Yeah,
for
I think it's
that,
gonna be
yeah.
great.
That was your number 8, wasn't it? Yep.
Yeah, your
my
number 7.
My number 7. My number 7 is Martin McDonagh's The Banshees of Inisherin.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's lower than I thought.
Yeah. That was lower than I thought.
Holy shit.
Until I
Okay.
did it. I was like, that's lower than I
Okay.
thought. But The Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah.
I'm a big Martin McDonagh fan. Huge in the sense of like I've liked every single film he's made.
Yeah.
I've liked even the short film he did called Six Shooter.
Okay.
Which won him an Oscar for best short film.
Haven't seen it.
It's got Brendan Gleeson in it. Really cool. Really good film. But Banshees of Inisherin, first of all, In Bruges is one of my all-time favorite films. It's in top tier comedies for me.
Yeah.
In the sense I've rewatched that film so many times. That's the film that I quote so many times.
Constantly.
It's an inanimate fucking object.
Yeah.
You're an inanimate fucking object. Good performance by Rafe Fiennes.
Ralph. Jesus.
And but yeah, so that's a film that I straight up love that film.
Yeah.
And more than anything, I was like and again, love Seven Psychopaths as well.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Love McDonagh's not a fan of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's just I think he says like he did a really bog standard basic American comedy and he fucking hates it. I go
Oh.
like, oh, it's really not.
I think it's really good.
it's
Yeah, I really like that movie.
It's really not the Vietnamese.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's great.
but yeah, it's like so I like that. I love that. 3 Billboards, really great as well.
Yeah.
Love that film. But I was always like, I want to see him do another film with Brendan Gleeson and
Yeah.
Colin Farrell again.
And then he did.
Cue me hearing about this film's existence,
Yeah.
and then it's like, what's the plot of this film? And it's like, one man just decides he's not another man's friend now. I
Yeah.
go, oh, this is gonna
It's
be
gonna be so
brilliant,
good.
and that is the film,
Yeah, that's
and
the
that
whole
is the
movie.
film,
Yeah.
and it's maybe the favorite to win Best Picture, which I love.
I don't think it's gonna.
Stay tuned for our Oscars video.
Yeah,
where we're
I
gonna
don't
do.
think it will.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm curious what your thing is then.
Yeah.
But anyway, but brilliant. It's a film that I think. Do you know what? I think I love it, and it's. And I think it is amazing. There's loads of funny moments in it. It's beautifully tragic.
Yeah.
But I'm almost surprised that everyone else is blown away by it,
Oh.
purely because it's like, yeah, we knew what could happen with these guys.
Yeah.
We got In Bruges, and
Yeah.
these are two different films. They are
Completely
two different films.
Yeah.
But I mean, in the sense of like the vibe and shit, I'm like, yeah, we know that
Yeah.
these guys can take a simple thing and make it fucking
Awesome. Yeah.
like existentially great.
Yeah.
And we know Colin Farrell can be amazing. It's interesting that this is the film people are like,
Yeah.
finally, Colin Farrell is. It's like,
Yeah, but it's like.
yeah, but he's
but he's
always
been doing this for years.
He's always
yeah.
been this good.
Yeah.
He's been good for, and it's like, wow, Brendan Gleeson. It's like, yeah, he's done.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we know.
so it's not a thing of like where I'm like saying it in a bad way. I'm like, I got everything I wanted
Yeah.
because I knew these guys could do everything that they did.
Yeah.
The surprises that happened for me.
Yeah.
First of all, I did not know who Kerry Condon was before this film.
No, I didn't. No.
What a fucking
Yeah,
like,
what a revelation. She's great.
What an amazing. And I didn't realize Barry Keoghan could be this good.
Yeah. He's great.
Again, I always
He's really
I always
funny.
knew him, and I
Yeah.
always knew, oh, he's good.
Yeah.
And it's like, that nice little tease of him as the Joker. That's
Yeah.
interesting. I can't wait to see more of him as that character.
Yeah.
And then he gets a really meaty role in this film. That's like, and he's good in Killing a Sacred Deer, but I find that film a bit. It's a Yorgos Lanthimos film.
I haven't seen it.
I've discovered I get Yorgos Lanthimos,
Mm.
but I don't necessarily get.
Oh, okay.
Like, I like The Favourite.
Yeah.
Favourite's good.
Yeah.
not blowing me away or anything. Same thing with all of his other shit. Lobster as well. I'm like, yeah, they're good. But anyway, but Barry Keoghan gives such a fucking like, I don't know. Again, the example is light spoilers, I guess, is that one scene of when Kerry Condon is by the river, and then Barry Keoghan just comes up and goes, "Hey, Siobhan, would there be any chance, like in maybe 7 years' time, like when I'm your age, that you might love me?" And she just goes, No. Like she's been so sincere
she's been
in the
really
way,
nice
but
about
she's
it.
like, "There's no way of that." But he goes, "Oh well, okay.
Thought I'd ask.
Well, I guess I'll just go over there and do whatever it is I was gonna do over there." And I'm like, "Oh, that's so like."
And he's like, "There goes that dream." It's like,
Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
That's the line. I'm
It's
like,
like,
oh
hell."
man, heartbreak in its purest. And it's like it's she's not gonna go, "No, fuck off," but she's also not gonna be like, "Yeah, I guess so." She's got there's no chance that me and you will ever be a thing. He goes, "Oh well, that's a shame then.
Yeah.
I'll go away now." And it's like, oh, again, it can be humorous, but like, but also like really beautifully like tragic, and that's. I think that's where this film is a really good outlier in the sense of like, it's funny as fuck, man. There's so much shit. I'm sure that I'm going to end up quoting shit from this film as well at times. Like, the thing that got like this, I saw this in a really good atmosphere. I saw it in Tyneside Cinema, relatively packed. You know that's the audience for that film. You know the humor's going to hit hard with the people in watching it for that. And it's like, there's a bit of like, where Colin Farrell's just got like the random guy that Brendan Gleeson was talking to. And he goes, just on the horse, goes, "Hey, you're not that guy from the show, are you?" And he goes like, "Yeah, I am." Yeah, he goes, "Oh, well, you had a call from your dad." Was it your dad? He goes like, "My dad's dead." He goes, No, not your ma." He goes, "You had to call for your ma. My mom's dead. Not your ma, your aunt. Your dad's been
hit by a milk truck.
Been hit by a bread van. He's in hospital. He could die." He goes, "That's impossible." "No, it's not really. A lot of people get hit by bread vans." "I know. That's how my mom died."
Oh, it's good.
I think the way I described it to like, and another brilliant fucking, this is how I pitched it to Joe, because Joe weirdly, went to me when like, he said to me, he goes, "Oscar, I think you're the only person that likes this film because I've heard everyone else say it's shit." I go, "That's the wrong. I'm not the only person saying it's good." And this is the scene that I pitched to him, to saying like, "This is why you should watch it," because it's the bit of where Brendan Gleeson is dancing with his dog. Colin Farrell kicks the fucking door down, sits down, and goes, "Well, it takes two to tango." He goes, "I don't tango." It's like, you were just dancing with your dog.
Oh god.
Another one I just remember there goes like, "Do you know how many people remembered for how nice they were? No one. Do you remember who remembered for their art? Everyone knows Mozart's name." "Well, I don't, so there goes your theory."
Well, I fucking don't. It's brilliant.
It's like, "But you know what I do remember? Me ma, she was nice.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna remember Siobhan because she's nice." And it's like, this is what I mean. You can go from fucking funny ass lines like that, quippy as fuck, to then like the real meaning of like someone being like, "I want to be remembered for something,
for being an artist."
Yeah, and then for like, "I want this to live on forever because art does live on forever and it will live on." He's like, "Well, I just want the people around me to just know that I just think about me as a good bloke."
Yeah.
I'm like, what a really poignant way to look at things.
The whole thing is kind of do you want to be remembered by the world, or do you just want to be remembered by the people that actually knew you? And that's it's a very interesting.
It's a really cool look. It's a really cool thing for a writer and a filmmaker to do.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's a really cool thing for Mark McDonagh, and because Mark McDonagh isn't like someone who releases things. He doesn't spout things off like constantly.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really good insight on his thought of everything as well. It's again, and the way I described it, it feels like if John Sullivan, creator of Only Fools and Horses, if John Sullivan decided to write a film to be released by Criterion. That's exactly what this film is. Yeah. I think Mark Kermode said it gives big Father Ted energy off. I haven't seen Father Ted, so I don't know if that's accurate or not. But because it feels nice and quaint.
Yeah.
Again, you instantly get a feel of the island of where like Colin Farrell's just like walking, then he sees the police officer and he goes,
Yeah.
morning, blanks him. He goes, fucking prick. It's like, oh, I know, right, this is the island. Goes in the pub. I know everything about it.
Yeah.
Goes like, are you rowing? Didn't think we're rowing. Well, it looks like you're rowing. Just so much. Again, I could just say why I like the film by just quoting the fuck out of it.
Well,
really.
exactly, yeah.
Because the writing is so just like, I really wouldn't be angry if this won Best Original Screenplay, in all honesty, as well. I think it's, yes, it's rewatchable. It's not one of the really long films from this year. It's like 1 hour and 50. So it's nice. It's a nice length. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know anymore. I can't say about it other than I just fucking love it. It's enjoyable.
Like in the movie.
Yeah, I think do you know what? I'm glad. This feels like the best film that they could have done at this point in their lives. And like, you know, like In Bruges is more lively and more like that one's more like well, that was like done with like Mark McDonagh was like in his mid-30s doing that. Yeah. Now this is him doing a film approaching 50. Yeah. It all feels right type of thing. And I like the way of how they described it in the sense like, well, if In Bruges was a romance film between two mates, this is a breakup film between two mates. Good film. Banshees of Inisherin. Big fan.
Yeah. My number 7. You ready to get pissed?
Is this where it's gonna start? Is this where the podcast is gonna start?
This is where you're gonna start getting a bit angry with me, I reckon.
Okay.
Speaking of Irish,
right, yeah.
My number 7 movie of this year is Belfast, which I loved, and you are a fuck. So,
and you are a fuck.
Yes, so, I really love this movie. I love the kid so much. I just want to protect him. I want to give him a little cuddle. You know, he's a great little kid. I think Jamie Dornan's fucking amazing in this. He's so good in this. He plays a very good, conflicted dad in a time of great conflict, just trying to care for his family, but maybe he doesn't really know how to do that well because the fucking world's on fire. You know? It's not great. And I love that, I love the POV of this film being from a kid's perspective during the Troubles in Ireland, where it's like, you don't really get an explanation about what the Troubles were. If people don't know what it is or what it was about, then you're probably not going to learn a lot about it in this movie because it's from the perspective of a kid who didn't know what was going on and didn't understand it. And even when it's explained to him about, like, you know, Protestants and Catholics or whatever, he's like, but why does that matter? And it's like, well, yeah, of course, but a kid wouldn't get it. And, like, you know, you see all this stuff from this kid's perspective, and there's obvious things going on with his dad where maybe he's kind of in trouble criminally. Maybe they're having some trouble paying their taxes or whatever. But the kid, you only hear, like, little glimpses of it because it's whenever the kid would overhear it, sort of thing. And I think it's a great look at a kid growing up and being innocent in times when everything's fucked. Now, I cannot fathom why you don't like this. I don't get it. So please explain to me why you think this movie's shit and why you're wrong.
Right, well, first of all, it's really a forgettable film, and I haven't seen it since we saw it, so it's been nearly a year.
Yeah.
Near enough mostly left my mind.
Right.
But I'm going to read a first bit of a review by Carson Runquist, which I pretty much agree with.
Okay.
And so this might remind me why.
Okay.
I'm doing this more so to jog my memory of why I didn't.
Film YouTube's edgy boy, Carson Runquist.
Yeah.
Look at me, I've got such alternative opinions. Continue.
Well, you also watch his shit as well.
I do. I haven't in a while.
I also don't idolize the fucking man. I just agree with it. I enjoy watching his shit. He's not Eric Striffler or anything.
Yeah.
Settle down. Carsten wrote, there's a scene in here that's just a wide where the kid goes, "Daddy, are we going to have to leave Belfast?" The dad pauses, and then they immediately cut out of that scene. Scenes and moments like this are littered throughout this film, all captured in a wide-angle lens that makes the memories of Branagh's memoir feel cartoonishly distant from us. In this scene, he's shown us an idea that this kid is child. Okay, now I do remember why I don't like it. It all just feels very, like, disingenuine.
What?
It's a very disingenuous feeling film. This is why I can't get fucking behind the films with Judi Dench and these Maggie Smith bullshit films like Best Exotic Marigold Hotel and the fucking Duke and I. No, what's it called? The fucking King. No, what's it called? The one where it's like an Indian prince or some shit with Judi Dench or whatever.
What?
All these bullshit films that get all your nanas down there and they're gonna have a lovely time, which fair enough. You have your own bit, you have your own MCU with all your old favorites. This is this film. This is like this film.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Judi Dench probably has about 5 minutes of screen time.
Then why does it feel like every Judi Dench film that isn't a Bond film?
What?
It's just, I can't get behind these films. They all feel very disingenuous. They all just feel very like glossy when the subject isn't. Is to be quite frank. I don't give a shit about the kid. He's annoying as fuck. So is his sister. Jamie Dornan is just kind
Doesn't
of
have a sister.
what's it? Oh, it's his mate, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Bullshit, man.
I can't. Jamie Dornan is existing in the film. Who fucking else was in it? Kieran Hines, who's fine, I guess. The film is just so unimpressive to me. It's just such a film that just doesn't do a single thing for me. That so middle of the road, so bog standard in everything. Yeah, it is. It's just so bog standard. Is the best way I can describe my feelings towards
so
Belfast.
fucking wrong.
Well, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Because it's my opinion.
You're completely fucking wrong. Like, I cannot fathom that you think that it's just, it's one of those British movies that they put out because they know it'll make money because old people will go see it. That is not the kind of movie that
really
is at all.
It really is.
It's a guy recounting his childhood in a time that was fucking awful.
But it didn't feel like the stakes were there at all with it.
Yeah, it does.
No.
There's scenes of people throwing fucking bricks at each other.
That just happens out of nowhere.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It happens throughout. The whole fucking street is cordoned off by the military. They have to pass through a fucking barricade with army soldiers and stuff to get to their house every time. If they get stopped, they're gonna get fucking shot. What are you talking about?
I think it also just didn't help that I just didn't give a shit about the kid.
But fucking bizarre. You're an idiot.
I didn't give a fuck about
You're
it.
a fucking idiot. This movie's amazing, and you should watch it and then tell Oscar that he's wrong. Everyone that's watching this, please watch Belfast. Have a great time with it because it's fucking heartwarming and lovely. And then send Oscar a message, call him a cunt.
I mean, I liked A Christmas Story, so I guess that's a thing.
Yeah,
That's our switcheroo.
With fucking Rafie.
Ralphie.
Fuck off.
Rafie.
Do your number 6, you bitch. And that is what we call in the biz a callback joke. That's not that everyone.
Is what we call back in the business. Right.
That's a lot of piss. I hope you know that your opinion's a lot of piss.
Hang on. I need you,
A real opinion.
to quote.
A mockingbird?
No.
Oh.
Sorry for being so hot and having correct opinions on everything as if it's my fault.
You're a fucking idiot. You are a fucking moron. That movie's great and you should be ashamed of yourself.
No, I'm not.
I don't even like Kenneth Branagh.
I know why it's such a weird one for you to be passionate about.
I don't even like Kenneth
So
Branagh.
weird.
I think
Such
he's
a weird
a
one.
talentless hack, but here I am. You know?
He's not talentless. He just doesn't do shit.
He's a hack fraud. I don't like him.
Right, my number 6.
Yeah.
If we're on about right, this is going to be the last film I'm talking about before.
Mm.
Oh well, for part 1 for me.
Oh,
Well, we're splitting into parts.
God,
Aren't we?
yeah,
Yeah,
of
it's
course,
gonna,
yeah.
that's how this fucking works,
How long have we
Robbie.
been recording for?
How long have we been recording for?
An hour and 28.
That's not the worst.
That's not as bad. I think this is going to be a good one. I think this
Yeah.
is going to be a good length.
Yeah.
Well done,
What
everyone.
she said.
Very good. Thank you.
I'm ashamed of myself.
There we go.
Right. This is my number 6 is definitely going to be this is going to be an example of I thought about like where I was going to put this film, and it got to the point where I was like, right,
Up
I-
my ass. Second shot.
I need to think about. I need to think about what is personally a film that I could put in there in terms of like the placement, in terms of personal preference.
Okay.
And are all the other films I've mentioned better than this film? Yeah.
Okay.
Like every other film that I've mentioned is technically a better film than this film. But when I think about, like, if we're on about Oscar W. Fitchett's top 10 favorite films of the year, it's not exactly cracking the top 5, but I have to give number 6 to Clerks 3. And all the reasons you did say, but I'm going to explain my side of it in terms of why this film is why it's an important one for me, in all honesty.
Okay.
And Kevin Smith and the Clerks films, the View Askew universe, and Kevin Smith as a whole are all very important to me for a lot of reasons. In the sense of his film, first of all, as like, I remember watching Clerks for the first time when I was, I want to say either 19 or 20. So close to about like 8 years ago now is when I first watched Clerks. And in that time period, I would have been in the midst of trying to do VHS Pirates Season 2 at this point. And me and friend at the time, Will, we both discovered him together, both bonded over him together, in the sense like we ended up watching his evenings with. Thought it was fucking hilarious and brilliant. Watched Clerks, saw how low budget it was, got well into the thought of like, holy shit, a film this good could be made on this shoestring of a fucking budget. And these guys like in their mid to early 20s as well. Fuck. Inspirational shit there. We would go on to watch more Rats, have a blast because it was an absolute fun hangout film, and we loved loved how it was just a film about just teenagers dicking about in it. Chasing Amy, very integral in the sense like we were both very much so like, wow, this is a heavy drama thing. I think that was the first time as well. Chasing Amy was the first like film. Again, I need to rewatch it. But it was the first time I watched a film that I felt like I was seen in terms of feeling. Like, it's like, oh shit, this is a romance film that I actually feel like I can relate to in a certain extent. Like, so that was the first time like I felt like, because again, being like 20 and shit, you're going into your 20s and you start, and if you're single and going into your 20s, you start having all sorts of like fucking like, God. Just all sorts of confusing fucking things. And Chasing Amy was the first film to make me feel like, shit, fucking hell. And then like other films, if you're on about, and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was again funniest at the time, funniest fucking thing I'd seen. I loved, like, again, I love Red State, his latest shit. Because I admire that Kevin Smith was just a filmmaker who was like, fuck, I'm going to do whatever I want and just do it. I admire the fuck out of that. Again, I think I even discussed with you, I don't like Tusk, but I love that it exists from a point of view of like, it's like, two mates who bullshitted and then made a film based on a bullshit. And a lot of, and again, Clerks 2, very important film for me as well, again, for similar reasons, in the sense of like the themes of it, in the sense of just two mates being like, shit, you know, just like, life, I guess, isn't turning out how we wanted and all that shit. Again, bonded over a lot with Will over those films a lot, and just Kevin Smith generally. Where was I going to lead it? Oh, and then so it cut to like, at some point, not too much details about it, for obvious reasons. Me and Will no longer friends. So there was a weird stage where I just wasn't watching a lot of Kevin Smith by default, weirdly enough. The first Kevin Smith film that I got back to was Reboot. Was when, a week before the world shut down because of COVID, I remember going around to Titan with you, and you just stuck on Reboot because like, I haven't seen it, I'm interested, fuck it, why not? Gave me a new like chapter in on Kevin Smith. Because it was a new chapter on Kevin Smith. And I said Jay and Silent Bob Reboot was exactly the film I needed at that exact moment. One, we were going through uni stress in terms of like, fuck, what is this now?
What is going on?
And COVID and shit was just fuck. So I just needed that film, just a load of familiar references. That made me remember why I liked
these guys.
Remember why I liked these guys, but it was a new, it was a new almost coat of paint almost to be like fresh enough to not make me feel like I'm getting just dragged back into all that shit. And now cut to Clerks 3, where again, didn't even expect anything from this.
Yeah.
I remember you told me. I think we watched the trailer in uni one time. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that looks cool.
Yeah.
And I think that was the limit to
Yeah.
my like.
Hype.
Yeah, I was like, oh, cool, nice. And I thought it was just going to be another like reboot in the sense of like, it's just going to give me a load of references and shit.
Which is
And
fine.
it does do that.
Yeah, it does.
Excuse me. But I think the thing that really caught me on the wanting to watch it more. One, you messaged me when you were watching it, and you were like, Clerk Street opens with the Black Parade. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then and I was like, excuse me? So I knew that going into it. And then you went, watch it. It's going to be fucking, you know, you will weep. I went, okay. And then I'm just thinking, I was like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. And then I watch it, stick it on. I didn't know they play the full Black Parade, the whole song. I thought it was just going to be the first like verse or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, no,
The whole thing.
unabashedly, welcome to the Black Parade plays. And I go, okay,
here we go.
nice one. And we get towards the end. Again, everything we've said, I love everything about it in the sense of like the references, even to the beat of them explaining his heart attack, to the beat of everything, to the fucking thing of when Jay goes, I can't be dancing with you fuckers watching me. He goes, that's exactly everything about it.
Yeah.
Brilliant. What really makes this film like, I think I start getting a bit like emotional and sad when we first start getting the Becky stuff.
Yeah.
And Dante, again, spoilers for Clerks 3, I'm going to say now, in case you skipped or whatever, I'm going to be talking spoilers about Clerks 3. About like him talking to Becky at the grave, which first started making me be like,
oh, Jesus.
shit. And I'll be transparent about this. Recently, haven't had the best of times in terms of in terms of grief. I'll say that. So around this time, I didn't expect the third Clerks film to be the film to make me starting to see this shit in thing. And then I see Dante sat at a grave talking to the person he's at the grave to, and I'm like, and then I'm reflecting to myself in the sense like, oh shit, I did that a few months back when I visited Swindon.
Yeah.
Fuck. So then seeing that, and then we're back to just having fun, dicking about.
Yeah.
Clerks. We're doing Clerks
We're doing
again.
Clerk stuff, yeah.
Shit, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice one.
The Christian kids are saying this now.
Yes.
Whatever.
Brilliant. Fuck me, Satan. Fuck me, Satan. What? And there's like that bit. There's the fucking bit of just like when they go like, yeah, I find this a bit offensive. It goes like he's an Asian art student or something. It's like, hey, this is offensive. Why does he have to bring up? He's like, well, and then then Randall goes, well, he's just into Asian architecture.
Yeah.
Probably didn't help he was Asian. It's like fucking brilliant. It's like, that's problematic. And they go, is it? I go, yeah, it's a bit dodgy. No,
yeah,
man.
it's not.
I like that. Like, you know, they're saying, again, you need to think as well, like the first few View Askew films, people might be like, those are problematic.
Yeah.
They're problematic. And in my head, I look at them and I go, they were 4 films if you count Dogma as well. 4 films from the 90s made by guys all in their 20s.
Yeah, exactly.
So you need to think
like,
about,
you know,
blokes in the 90s making film when they're in the 20s.
Yeah.
Making films in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's
different. Yeah.
You know, edgy humor's different than it is now.
Yeah.
I don't take that as anything, but I like in the sense of like they almost address it now in the sense of like, fuck, that's
Yeah.
He goes, well, it's not meant to be.
Yeah.
It's just what happened.
Yeah.
But again, Dante has a heart attack. I explained this to you. I didn't expect Dante to die.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Yeah, because even like you're watching it and you kind of go like, yeah, he's had a heart attack, but like,
It's like, so he's gonna
be fine, right?
and they're gonna finish the
Yeah.
film, whatever, and then like,
no,
no,
he dies.
and it started clicking to me of like, again, he hit the space bar. Randall hit the space bar.
Yeah.
And then it's just the first Clerks film. I started welling up at that moment.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I'm then remembering watching Clerks for the first time with
Yeah.
Will.
Yeah,
And remembering those times
Yeah.
in my early 20s. And remembering what it was like being a filmmaker at that point, being
Yeah.
really scrappy and not having fuck all, not,
Yeah.
not having any understanding of cinematic composure.
Yeah, just
you
doing
stick
whatever.
a camera, whatever,
Yeah.
and it's just you and your mates making a fucking film.
Yeah.
I'm getting emotional at that point because now I'm remembering, oh, fuck those times.
Yeah.
Shit. And then we then cut to Dante in a cinema
watching
it
Clerks.
with Becky. And then that's
Oh,
where I'm like,
Jesus.
Dante's going to die.
Yeah.
Fuck. And then I couldn't tell you anything that was said between Dante and Becky in that time. Because I just started crying.
I don't know what they
I
said.
just started crying. And I mean ugly blubber crying. Which, again, the fact that Kevin Smith in the third Clerks film made me bawl
Made me
fucking
weep.
it made me, like, I was fucking in fetal position, man. And I'm like, and then he dies. I then kept crying.
Yeah.
I eased off a bit. We then get to his funeral. And again, the fact that I'm watching Dante's funeral
Yeah.
and then Randall steps up to talk at his funeral. I'm like, I didn't. These are moments where, you know, like how like you hear people when Thanos did the click in Infinity War, and then people were like, when Peter Parker started disappearing, I just couldn't. I'm like, and then I just couldn't. Like, I think this was the first time I finally understood seeing characters that
you care
that
about.
I've had such a deep connection to just
Suddenly
die.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've realized that in the sense like, oh, I'm not crying because Dante's gone.
Yeah.
I'm crying because the memory that I had from an early age.
Yeah.
That car is now
It's
just
put to rest
gone,
now, yeah.
and everything. It's not necessarily dead. Like, it doesn't matter now. But it's like, shit. Those times are gone now.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. And also, when Randall's going up to talk, you know exactly what he's going to say. And like that, he wasn't even supposed to be here today. You know exactly that. You know he's going to say it.
Yeah.
And it's perfect.
Yeah.
And I couldn't think of a better fucking line.
Yes.
It's perfect.
Again,
like,
I
it's
think this
so
is the.
good.
A lot of people could look at this film and maybe go, "It's just Kevin Smith doing a load of his references," but like,
But it's not.
but in
though.
my head, I'm like, yes, but also.
Yeah. He had a story to tell with this movie. Yeah.
Exactly. I think it's one that it had no right to be this poignant.
No.
It had no right to be this heartfelt.
No.
Clerks 3 had no right. Just
Clerks
anyway.
3 had no right to kick me in the dick for no
Had
reason.
no right to be this good. And it's not exactly big cinematically well shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is what I mean in the sense of every film I've mentioned is better than Clerks 3. The Northman's
Like,
better than Clerks
cinematically,
3.
yeah.
Decision of Leaves better than this film.
Yeah.
The Banshees of Inisherin is better than Clerks 3.
Yeah. But
But did the Banshees of Inisherin make me weep because it made me remember
no.
my time, like past memory? Did it make me go back to a place while also made me reflect on the future? No.
No. Yeah.
Clerks 3 did, and that is what I go for film. That's what I
Yeah.
go to film for.
Exactly.
Quite frankly, I
Yeah.
go to film
To have an emotional reaction.
to help
yeah.
me through shit.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I go through. If a film can make me look back at shit and make me actually realize stuff
Yeah.
and walk away
Yeah.
like with a new perspective on anything, that's when a film clicks
Yeah.
in the right spot for me.
Yeah.
And Clerks 3 did that to me. And again, it's like, I'll use a slight. I won't say the specifics because I remember I had a conversation with George Dixon a few weeks ago, and he said this about The Leftovers in relation to a thing that he was going through at a time. He said like that he was very emotionally numb at one point, and there was a scene in The Leftovers that almost gave him permission to cry.
Yeah.
And Clerks 3 was that to me in the sense like, again, didn't fucking expect it would be Clerks fucking 3
Yeah.
to make me go, oh, this is the film that made me cry
Yeah.
in a moment where I needed to cry.
Yeah.
And you know what? I always rag on the fact of like, I fucking hate films that just base things on nostalgia.
Yeah.
To me, this is the nostalgia done right.
Yeah.
Again, even from the fact of like, you open with Black Parade, which is also very poetic in the sense like the whole fucking song is about someone talking on their deathbed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Kevin Smith uses the fucking song in a way of like, yeah, we're using this song because all you emo kids that love the Clerks films,
they're gonna like this. Yeah. But
come on, you know the Black Parade, sing
Yeah.
along. It's like, but you also know the meaning behind Black
Yeah.
Parade. which is
it's great.
Beautiful film, which is insane that I can say that about this film.
Yeah,
that's my number 6.
If you haven't seen it, watch it. If you haven't seen the other Clerks films, don't, because it'll mean nothing to you.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, watch the Clerks movies.
I'll be interested. I'll be interested to. I think it's important to watch like the View Askew films.
Yeah, it is,
because that's where like it feels. And I would be very interested in seeing someone who's never seen them.
Yeah, watching them
for the first time.
Yeah.
Now, because I think what hits us especially is that we've had time with these films.
Yeah.
And we've had again, it's like I remember being a completely different person at 20 and watching Jay and Silent Bob for the first time and watching all these characters for the first time, that it almost is like, oh yeah, these characters aren't the same as they were then, but neither am I.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it I'll be interested to see if it has the same effect of if you just binge them all for the first time.
Yeah.
Would it have that emotional attachment?
I need to introduce Julia to them because she's never seen any of them. So
I'll be interested in that.
I'll be interested to see what she thinks. I don't think she'll like them. But
Leo hasn't seen any of them either, has he?
no, which is bizarre because
I feel like
they're like made for him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah. Clerks 3, that's my number 6. And what's your number 6, Robbie? Is this another one that we're going to bicker about?
We're getting the two.
Oh,
not gonna like out the way.
you might. Oh, okay. So
you know what it is.
my 5. My guess for your 5 is probably wrong then.
Oh, did you guess Avatar?
I did.
Yeah, because my number 6 is Avatar.
Shit. Okay.
Okay. Here's the thing. Let me
Explain yourself.
Let me explain myself. All right. Put the gun down. Let me explain what I'm talking about. James Cameron, Jim, fucking lunatic. He's mental, and I don't know if I like him as a guy. I don't know if I do, man. I don't know. So I like some of his films. I like the first Terminator. I like the second Terminator.
I love both of those.
Yeah, great movies.
Yeah. Aliens is really good.
Aliens is fantastic.
It's the best Alien film.
One.
Yes, yep.
This fucking guy. Titanic is a movie that exists.
Yeah,
I
it's fine.
also have seen
The Abyss. Have you seen that?
no, oh yeah, I have seen The Abyss.
Yeah.
I like The Abyss.
I haven't seen The Abyss.
It's good fun. Water or whatever.
Yeah.
Water is coming at you.
Speaking of water,
it's got a face. And then I saw at the ripe age of 8 years of age, when you were 34.
14.
Okay.
All right.
So I went to the cinema and saw the second 3D movie of my life.
What was the first?
Ice Age 3: Dawn of the Dinosaurs. I saw Avatar in cinemas in 2009.
Yeah.
At 8 years old. And I said, that was good. Because I didn't know what was good. 'Cause I didn't know what good. I didn't know what good meant. I was 8 years old. I wasn't fucking sentient. And I watched it again when I was probably like, I don't know, 15 or whatever. You know, when I was getting properly into movies and being like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to make movies. And I watched it.
Yeah, that was my age of doing that as well.
I watched it again and said, well, it's just Pocahontas, but they're blue in it.
So you just recited what you read online?
Yeah, but it is though.
No, it is.
It's just Pocahontas. So I watched it and I was like, what I can always appreciate Avatar for is the leaps it made in visual effects and like technologically, that movies and blockbusters in particular would not be the same now if Avatar never came out.
No, that's
it completely changed the game of blockbuster filmmaking.
I have a question
100%.
mark if that's a good thing or not, but
so anyway, so it completely changed the game, and I can always appreciate it for that. But the story's whatever. Like when it becomes a running joke online as to whether people can remember the main character's name of your movie. Your movie probably wasn't very good.
Oddly enough, that is always the one thing I do remember.
Yeah, because it became a
Jake
meme for a
Sully.
bit. Jake Sully. Yeah. So anyway, when I heard they're doing another Avatar, and then they went, actually, when I say we're doing another Avatar, we're doing 4 more. Oh, Jesus Christ. And the plan, do you remember when the plan was, it's going to be Star Wars one Christmas and then Avatar, and we're going to alternate, and it's going to be constant Star Wars and Avatar movies for the rest of the time. That didn't work out. It was a Star Wars movie, and then a Star Wars spin-off, and then another Star Wars, then a Star Wars spin-off.
No. That was before all that.
Oh no, I know, but I mean,
right,
when the movies actually started coming out, the Avatar movies were nowhere to be seen, and they just filled the gaps with Star Wars spin-offs.
No, that was before they bought Fox. They didn't have Fox at that point with the spin-offs.
Oh,
No,
maybe I'm a fucking.
they bought them all,
Yeah.
and then because they were going to do the Benioff and Weiss
Oh, yeah.
Star Wars films.
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember that when they were
Yeah, I
going to do
remember when
those?
Ryan Johnson was going to do a trilogy.
Yeah, apparently it's still in talks.
Apparently, I don't know.
I'll go and see it. If
I'll see it. Give it a few more years for people to forget. Well, give it time for people to look at the sequel trilogy the way that they now look at the prequels for some reason.
This is why I said.
Yeah,
I said this.
Give it a few years and everyone will go, oh, they're actually amazing. They're actually underrated masterpieces of their time, and actually people just didn't get them. They're bad movies, all right?
I mean, I like
The Last
two of
Jedi is a
them.
bad movie. I like The Force Awakens, all right? There, I said it.
As well.
Anyway, Avatar.
Yes.
So, and I heard they were doing another one. I thought, why and who wants this? And
Everyone was saying.
yeah, what's the point in this? And I thought, because now I've changed as a man.
You've got a hat.
I've got a hat on. I can't wear hats now and knitted jumpers. I've changed as a human. I wear corduroy trousers, but only because my jeans have got a hole in them. Jesus, that's too much information, isn't it?
Genius.
People, yeah,
Gene.
very,
No.
Jesus?
No. That's sci-fi. But it was an
it's
attempt.
a soft high five.
It was an attempt.
So yeah, I've now I'm big into my VFX.
Yes.
I do a lot of VFX work. Not paid, just because I'm bored, mostly. And so
What a sad hobby.
yes, it's really sad.
It's quite sadomasochistic if you think
Yeah,
about it.
kind of. It's like, what if I created life and then destroyed it? it's like what? So I thought my new perspective on the new Avatar movie coming out was I don't care about the story at all. I just care about what new leaps is James Cameron gonna make for movies and movie making. And it's been how long? 13 years
Yeah.
since the first one. So it's like he was waiting all this time. He said he's been wanting to do a sequel for ages, but he's been waiting until he can do it.
Hasn't he got like the third and fourth film basically in the can? He's going to start on the fifth or some shit.
No, so the third is finished.
Yes,
The third movie's completely wrapped. The fourth movie, he said he shot about a third of it, and it was simply to avoid
the Stranger Things
the
effect,
child
yeah.
actors aging up. So I'm guessing there'll probably be a time jump in the third movie then. If he's only filmed a third of it and he's cool with that, I'm guessing there'll probably be a time jump.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because Jake Sully probably dies or something. I don't fucking know. What I wasn't expecting was for them to somehow make the same movie again, but better and make me care. I don't know how they did it.
Okay.
They did the same movie where Jake Sully is going into a new tribe and has to learn the ways of the tribe.
The ways of water.
This time it's the learn the way of the water, which I still don't know what that is. But big whales or something, maybe.
They swim now.
Yeah, you swim. And you meet these new Na'vi, and their designs are better than the originals. Just saying, they look better.
They're lighter blue.
They look, but no, they're not. They're not just lighter blue.
They're lighter blue. They got a thicker tail and they got more forearm.
Yeah. But do you know what I do? Do you know what I do like about it? I love that it's a weird coming of age movie where everyone makes fun of the new kid for having a little tail, which I love it.
It's just like, look at the look.
I love it. Look at this fucking scrawny little bitch. I hate this guy. But I thought it was a really incredible movie about family and kids growing up and trying to fit in. And what am I gonna be? Maybe my dad's the best. Maybe my dad's Jesus, and I have to live up to that. I don't know. There's a lot of that kind of going on, and technologically, it's incredible. It looks so good, and there's points where, because there's a lot less humans in this one, all the people that wear.
I wish there was a more or less.
Yeah,
I wish there was. I
yeah.
wish there was zero.
Do you mean
I mean,
you hate
permanent-
the character Spider? Is that what you're talking about?
Not Spider.
Everyone's favorite character Spider?
I mean, I don't give a shit.
Okay. Well, I like Spider.
I don't like any of them. If I'm being honest.
Okay.
Get rid of Stephen Lang. That's my cliffhanger until I
No!
finish your point. Then I can.
No. Incorrect. Stephen Lang's great, and he's a
and Don't Breathe.
he's a big blue man now. He's joined the Blue Man group, and he's saying hello. I am Stephen Lang, and I'm blue, and I'm gonna
Dabbity dabba die.
I'm gonna fucking kill Jake Sully.
Imagine. Hang on, I'm gonna interrupt that for a second.
Yeah.
You know, like how You know, like how they how the for some reason the trend of trailers is just to take a song and just really like
Oh yeah.
melancholy.
What if they did that for Avatar 3?
Like I'm blue, da ba dee da.
Oh, I don't like it.
Just like listen up, there's a story
Didn't they
about a little boy.
Look, what movie starts with that? Oh, Iron Man 3 starts with that.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
I forget about that.
But like
Every
Avatar
time
3,
it cuts me
you
off
just
guard.
see like blue da ba dee da.
Jake Sully doing a big slow motion punch.
Da ba dee.
Oh my god, he's flying on one of the big birds again.
I fucking love that. Anyway,
I'd love it. And I think the story's much better. I like the characters a lot more. I think his kids are more interesting than him. I think Zoe Saldana is barely in it, which is fine.
baffling.
Yeah,
No, baffling.
it's
Stupid,
okay.
quite
No,
frankly.
she's fine.
She's
in
the only
first
good
one.
thing in the first one.
No, she's fine in the first one. She's all right. She's whatever. Sigourney Weaver, I would like to.
Weird.
She's excellent in
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah,
There was
yeah, yeah.
no point where I thought that's not a 14-year-old.
No,
girl,
I agree. I do agree. Yeah, I
which
do
is
agree with
insane because she's in her 60s.
How literal old woman right
How
now.
the fuck did she just? Which is incredible for the
that.
A,
VFX.
her performance, B, the motion capture
Yes.
technology now. She can just
Insane.
she can not. They can hire someone. They can hire whoever they
It's also a
want.
bit terrifying, I think.
Yeah,
It's also a
they
bit
can
terrifying.
hire whoever they want to play whatever character they want, as long as they can pull that off.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And the motion capture is amazing. It looks so lifelike.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, it's like fucking hell. There's points where I'm like, oh, you kind of. It's a really weird effect where you kind of go like, these are real things. I'm watching real things right now, and then you go, what am I talking about? These are fucking blue lizard people.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. The water is insane.
Yeah.
The CG, we've mastered CG water now. Well done, human race.
Finally.
Well done, everybody. Big round of applause for the human race. Lewis had this in. Big round of applause. We've mastered water in CGI now, so that's good. Now work on your fire, I reckon. Work on your fire and your smoke.
Is hair still a bit of a...
Hair is no, I think we're getting round to
Yeah.
hair.
I'm thinking.
Because-
Do you know what? I'm thinking of video games. Video
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, video game hair looks bizarre, but like
eyes are still not quite.
yeah, eyes are
fully
the
there.
yeah. So the underwater shit in this is fucking crazy from a VFX standpoint.
Right.
Like it looks amazing. The camera work looks
Yeah.
exactly like what it looks like when a camera's underwater.
Yeah.
There's points where he's just showing off. You know the bit where the sun meets that whale, like the weird sun that everyone hates,
Oh yeah.
meets the whale and they're talking and whatever. And he has the camera so that it's half in the water, half not on the water.
Yes.
It's kinda
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
That is mental.
Yeah,
How the
yeah.
fuck did they even do that? I don't get it. And it's incredible. And I think from a VFX standpoint, it's amazing. From
Yeah.
a standpoint of story, it's so much better than the first one. And it's great. And I'm excited to see where they go somehow. I don't know how he's done it.
How James Cameron's got you.
I don't know
excited
how
about
James
Avatar 3.
Cameron's that fucking maniac's managed to get me excited for Avatar 3, but I think I'm excited. Sorry about it. Sorry for being hot and having good opinions
Hey,
or
I
whatever,
mean-
whatever the fucking
What the fuck that thing
whatever
was?
for the memes that you've got on your phone. Yeah, it's good. It's a
Yeah.
good movie,
No.
and I'll hear nothing else of it.
Well, you are because I'm going to say my bit. Believe it or not, Avatar: The Way of Water isn't in my top 10, so I'm going to
Yeah,
say,
if you can
believe it or
believe
not.
that.
No, right. My thing with this is, yes, the visual effects is stunning.
Mm.
That wears the impressiveness of that for me wears off 10, 20 minutes in, 10, 15 minutes in,
Mm.
and then I've got 3 hours and 10 more minutes
Okay,
of
didn't feel that.
someone
long.
else.
To me, it didn't feel that long. But that's fine.
I felt the length so
Really?
hard with it.
Yeah, I didn't
Mate,
know.
I was like, I could watch Seven Samurai instead of this. I could watch Seven Samurai instead. I could watch Banshees twice instead
Yes.
of this. And so there's that. And that's the thing. The things that it does really impressively, it does really impressive.
Mm.
But I get it after a while. Like, I'm not constantly in awe of the visual effects.
Mm.
Because once I've seen it, I'm like, wow, that's really good.
Yeah.
I know it's really good.
Yeah,
It's not. And then there's shit where we go underwater. I'm like, wow.
yeah.
But then we spend like half an hour of them just like ogling the water.
Just sticking about.
And I'm like, right, I get it.
They're having fun. Have
I
fun
get
with them,
it.
man.
right, yes, it's impressive, but anything else? No? Okay. The music. Oh, the music's good as well. Okay.
It's really good.
Anything? No?
Just enjoy
okay,
it, man.
no.
Just enjoy the vibe.
But I
just
couldn't-
enjoy yourself.
No, but I couldn't.
Jesus.
But the characters weren't anything.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were.
No, but right, they were. But they were all the 90s kid acted,
Yeah,
type of
which
shit.
I love.
and I don't like
It's like
that.
having 6 Edward Furlongs knocking
No.
about. It's great. It's
No,
great.
no.
What do you want?
It felt like, God, it felt like I was watching like Stuart Little type acting, like
no,
little
it
vampire
no,
acting.
it didn't. They were
And,
great. The kids
Jonathan
were great.
Lipnicki was in his would have
No.
been in his element
No.
in this
They were
picture.
great.
The whole film also, and then when we got to the military shit, which is everything I hate about the fucking first one.
Mm.
Is what the first one I don't mind. I feel the same about both these films equally.
Okay.
I'm not picking a favorite because they're both equal levels
Okay.
of something,
Mm.
of whatever.
Yeah.
For me, the things that really fucking bored the shit out of me in the first one was how it's meant on me that it's going to be the highest grossing franchise.
Ever, yeah.
It will be. Has the main protagonist is got the fucking personality of a flimsy bit of cardboard, and James
Hey.
Cameron doesn't give a shit to do anything else with him. Do you remember he has a twin and that's why he's fucking
Yeah.
good? Did you?
Yeah, because that's why he's an avatar. They were like, we need you to do it because you've got
Yes,
the same
okay.
brain or something.
I didn't remember that
Oh.
until I watched.
You don't need to remember it for this movie.
like, I
It's not
think-
fucking relevant.
No, but the fact of like this is an important character trait for him.
yeah.
It's the whole reason why he's here.
Mm.
I just remember he wanted to shag a blue blast, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Good on him. But I
And then
think he's
so-
much better. I think he's much more well defined now that he's a dad in the second movie.
He was. I mean, I guess.
He's got a
but I
lot more going on in
can't
the second
think
movie.
of a more blander
Mm.
protagonist in this big
But
of
this
a blockbuster.
second movie's not. It's not really about him. It's about the kids. He's not the main character.
who
of this
are
movie.
really bog standard
No,
90s kid
they're-
acting.
Yeah, but
fucking,
do you know what I love about the 90s kid aspect of this movie is that it does feel like a film from the 90s, and I miss that. I miss films that are just fucking whimsy and kids having fun. I like why.
No, I can agree to an extent.
like it's not like every other blockbuster nowadays, which is just a Marvel movie copy and pasted. Everyone's just trying to do Marvel
I think
movies.
it's because right. No, I
And then
agree.
Jim Cameron comes along and makes a family movie from the 90s, but just puts it now.
I think it's because I didn't really give a shit about family 90s movies anyway.
Well, that's fine.
Like,
yeah.
they- like,
I
that-
was
like-
raised on shit like that.
Like,
That's
that was
probably
never
why
my like again. I
yeah.
was raised on Pixar and Disney. And
Yeah.
shit.
Okay.
So
well,
it's
that's
like
fine.
it's like that's like I've never seen the Goonies. Like never in my life.
Ridiculous. Okay.
Like,
fair
and
enough.
I still have never seen E.T.
Yeah.
And I've still so I was never raised on
Yeah.
those things.
So that's like my bread and butter.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
So it's
it's
a
like,
bit
you know.
like I guess it is very Amblin children. Boo,
Yeah.
boo. I'm like okay. I just never.
Yeah.
It was never my thing. These are all they're all caricatures of
Yeah.
kids.
Mm.
Not my thing. Whatever. And I remember thinking to myself, fucking hey, first film. Because the first film couldn't be fucked with it. I found all the military shit boring,
Mm.
dull. Get it out. It felt very Roland Emmerich disaster movie
Yeah, okay.
type of shit. Like,
Yeah.
get it out of here. Fuck off. Stephen Lang died in the first film. We can move on to another villain because he was the most boring ass fucking villain I could
Yeah.
think about. Let's move on to another villain. Who have we got? It's Stephen Lang back. Fuck me. Then the film ends with a fight between Stephen Lang and Jake Sully, and I'm like,
Yeah.
kill him. Yes, Stephen Lang's gone. Fuck, Spider saved him. Damn it. He went off
It's
on a...
part of his arc
he
because
went-
he's his
he-
son or something.
And then I'm like, oh, shit. Now Stephen Lang, I'm going to have to deal with this dull-ass villain
he's
for,
gonna
like,
be the villain for all of them. Is what he said.
for like 7 more films.
Yeah. He
And
said he's
I'm
gonna.
going to end up having to watch them all.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to because now I'm this far into it.
Yeah.
And they're all going to be close to 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I hate it because the story does nothing else other than the bug. Because at least the thing with these 90s kids films, they're not 3.5 hour epics, Robbie.
No, that's true. Yeah. I guess that's kind of for this one. I think if you weren't big on the first one,
this is going to do
I
nothing
wasn't,
else.
It's gonna do nothing for you unless you like movies like The Goonies and those old kid movies.
I guess so.
Which I like, and I was taken in by the charm of it, and like, movies like this don't exist anymore. And
I think the
happy
thing
that
is
this
as well
a
with me,
thing.
like I I don't get impressed by CGI.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I can understand you because it's someone who does VFX shit.
I know how hard that
But
shit
with me, it's more of like a thing of like, I'm not seeing anything real. I know it's computer generated.
Right.
So then it just, there's an instant disconnect to me.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
like, I'm not like, there's like, I'm not watching anything like real happening. And I know, I guess animated films you could say are different, but the whole film isn't animated.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And the film's trying to be photoreal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the film's trying to be photorealistic.
Yeah.
And again, amazing. It should win visual effects.
It will.
It
because
should, and it will.
Why would you not?
And
Yeah.
I
It'd be
get
ridiculous.
I get nominating other obviously the other films that are nominated deserving. I get the Batman getting nominated because of the projector
volume
shit.
stuff,
yeah, get that. What other fucking films? No,
I don't know.
Not Everything Everywhere for some reason.
Bizarre.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Gonna sneeze.
Bless you, sir. Oh, no, bless you twice.
Ah, thank you. So I think with that, again, it's very impressive. And I agree with you. If it wasn't for the first Avatar, blockbusters wouldn't be as CG dominated.
No. Bad thing.
Is that a good thing? But
It depends on how
no,
it
right,
depends.
I think in the sense of like, yes, if it wasn't for Avatar, would we have had like Rise of the Planet of the Apes and that feat in CGI?
No.
Probably not. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because could do shit like that.
Yeah, great movies, yeah.
The mocap work, yes, great.
Yeah, awesome.
But also Avatar then introduced the fact of like, well, everything could just be CGI. And that's where we get things like Jon Favreau's The Lion King.
Yeah.
and
we get things like fucking
Ready Player One.
We get Marvel's over reliance on things which really upsets me.
Yeah,
It's when I see the visual effects breakdowns and No Way Home in particular had one. I know it's different for No Way Home because it was filmed during COVID or whatever, but to see a shot of what is just Tony Revolori walking down the street,
and it's just,
and he's the only real thing.
Yeah.
In it. He's just on a green screen. It's
Yeah.
like, why couldn't you just shoot that in New York?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand.
So I get it, and I will say, I remember thinking to myself, how is this going to impress us? We all know CGI now. We know it. Even so, I still think this film, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, this has done something different enough to be like,
holy shit.
you once again stepped up in the feet of, and I guess that is what James Cameron is like. I mean, hey, if that's his focus on shit,
Yeah,
fair
well, it's
enough.
that and talk about the environment and whatever.
Yeah.
Which is
And I get his reason in the sense like he doesn't want to do a complicated story because he wants just the film to be accessible for people just to go. But to me, there's a difference between doing not complicated and just nothing
Okay.
in my head. And and it's also a big difference in the fact of like I'm sitting down for over 3 hours to watch nothing but a spectacle that has such flat storytelling.
That's fine.
To where I'm like, well, what am I investing in?
Yeah. If you
Which is
couldn't
fine.
get invested in it, I get it. But for me, it's my number 6 movie of the year.
It
and I love
is.
dearly.
It is.
And that's the end of part 1.
And on that note,
Oh my God.
we'll cut the part
How long's
1.
part 1?
And how long have we been recording?
2
for?
hours 7 minutes.
That's an appropriate amount.
That's
I
good.
think.
I like that.
I think so. Yeah. So, with that being said, thank you all for watching / listening to our first part, 10 through 6, of our favorite films of 2022. What's been your is any film like have we talked about your favorite film? Who
crossover.
knows?
Any crossover with you?
Yeah.
Fuck.
We've got one crossover. We got Clerks 3 so far. That's the only crossover we've had so far.
Yeah.
But yes, the next part going through our 5 to 1s, that will be tomorrow.
Yeah.
In terms of when you'll be watching.
For us,
this.
it'll be right now.
It'll be right now. We're literally going to pause and then get to
Yeah.
it. But yes, thank you all for watching, listening, and until tomorrow, we shall see you later. And
Ta-da.
see you later.